me 5 minutes to start, guys. 5 minutes. Oh. Give me 5 minutes, guys. Oh, give me a couple minutes, boys. A couple minutes. I'm coming, don't you worry. Gotta get a couple things going. Pour myself a drink of sparkling water. All right. Just another minute or two, boys. Just another minute or two. And then we'll get the Sweat Hotel going. All right. Yeah, just another day. Just another night. Today was my day off, which was great. It was good to have a day off. All right. Pour myself some right here. Do a little something here to get started. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Do, do. Motherfucking do. Donde sea, que no le tiene cualquiera. Que mamá conmigo. Espera, corazón de seda. Corazón de seda. Que no le tiene cualquiera. Que mamá conmigo. Mañana te espera. Corazón de seda. Mucha cosa quiero hacerte. Corazón de seda. Suavecito como un besito. Nena buena de University. Corazón de seda. Que no le tiene cualquiera. Si no va conmigo. Nena espera. Corazón de seda. El tiempo es testigo. Oh, si yo te sé por qué, no te portes mal conmigo. Oh, corazón de seda. Porque no le tiene cualquiera. Uchimama conmigo. Espera. Corazón de seda. Que no le tiene cualquiera. Uchimama conmigo. Espera. Corazón de seda. Que no le tiene cualquiera. Uchimama conmigo. Espera. All right. Let's see who's in. I see 6 people. All right. Let's see. I see red pill in the wind. What's up, red pill? Oh yeah, I gotta drop the stream. I gotta drop the stream link. You know, I better do that right now. Well, let me write it down. All right, I'll be ready in literally in like 20 seconds. Grab. Corazón de seda, que no le tiene cualquiera. Mamá conmigo. Espera. Corazón de seda, que no le tiene cualquiera. Mamá conmigo. Espera. StreamYard.com/EJU FCF 76 QW. My friend is calling me, but I cannot answer. Huh. Oh well. Sorry, Bobby boy. I'll call you back later. All right, let me drop this here link. Oh. All right. I swear. This is such an amateur production. Okay. Moments, guys. Just moments. It's going to be a big one. Oh, and I've also have some good news. I did receive an email today and a phone number from a world famous scientist, and it looks like I'm going to be interviewing him probably in a week. I'm going to try to make it a collaboration with Hammerhand. I'll probably talk a little bit about that on this stream. Okay, HTTP. Oh, I forgot the S. It's HTTPS, not HTTP. My dumbass. HTMyard.com/EJU. All right, I'm going to drop the link, guys. Get ready. F 76 QW. There you go. That should work. I know I have at least one person who's supposed to be okay. All right, so this is the official start. Let me grab my sparkling water so I can stay hydrated. And we're gonna start right now. The stream starts right now. Corazón de seda, que no le tiene cualquiera. Uchi mamá conmigo, porque no quieres esperar. This evening, today is what, the 31st of May? May, right. Today is May 31st, Tuesday, May 31st. And this is yet another episode of the Sweat Hotel. Here at the Sweat Hotel, we do Mgtow interviews. I want to hear all your dirty secrets. Who was cheating on who? Who gave you the STDs? Who brought the gun up in the club? I want to hear it all. All right, I dropped the link. I'm going to see who I think I'm supposed to today. I'm supposed to have Red Pill in the Wind. He's going to be coming in. He's going to be sharing his sob stories about his all the women that did him dirty. So let's see if we can do something about that. All right, I see two people in the guest room. Let's see who they are. course, my asshole friend is calling again. Let me decline him right away. He has no idea, but I'm not going to play with the technology. I barely know what I'm doing. Okay, I see Red Pill in the Wind. I also see Angler. So Angler, I'm going to let you in, but I'm going to let you in under the understanding that you got to mostly be quiet at least for the first half an hour while I do a formal interview with Red Pill in the Wind, and you can still even comment. Just keep the comments to a minimum. But I'm going to let you in, Angler. I'm letting you in 3, 2, 1. Add to stream. That should work. I think that worked.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, let's try to work out any and all audio bugs real quick.
Yep. Understood.
Okay. Okay. I think I have both of you in. Okay, Angler, are you there?
Yes, I'm here and understood.
Okay, great. How is my audio? Is my audio okay?
Yeah, your audio is great.
Excellent. And then the guest of the hour, Red Pill in the Wind. Are you there, sir?
I'm there. I'm right here.
Excellent. I'm so glad you can make it. It is a treasure. It's my pleasure, really. So I thank you very much. I understand that you're you obviously have a work schedule and everything, but we finally were able to connect.
It's
go ahead.
It's a crazy work schedule. You never know when you're gonna shut down or when you're gonna start up.
Yes, of course. Are you back at work now, or are you still at home with your sister?
I'm back at work.
You are back at work. Okay.
Yep.
Well, then I do appreciate it. I understand that you're probably not driving right now. You're on your what's it called? Your 10-hour reset.
10 hour. Yep. 10-hour reset.
Very good. Okay, so I've got you at least for half an hour. Then I assume.
Yeah, for at least half an hour. Yeah, I mean probably more.
Okay. Yeah. Right. No, you can. Right. No, I'm definitely going to go longer. I'll probably go for at least an hour and a half. So. Okay.
Nice.
Well then, if we can start, well, let's just start. How was your day? When did you start your day?
I started my day right around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I got one load delivered to clear out my trailer, and I'm currently at the shipper for the second one but luckily I can sleep here. Nobody's gonna mess with me.
Yes. Okay. So during the 5 weeks that I did over the road trucking, I had to do some of that. My situation was probably a little bit easier because I was not driving an articulated vehicle, a Type 2 combination vehicle. I was driving a straight truck. Do you find that what's the situation with that? Do most places just let you park in like the back lot, or do people bug you?
For the most part, I typically try to call before to ask them if there's anywhere I could take a 10-hour before I show up. Especially if I'm got maybe 2 hours left.
Sure.
If not, and I just have to reschedule it for tomorrow morning.
Sure. I have this idea that people they absolutely love the convenience of the modern. How can I put it? People absolutely love that people very much benefit and enjoy the convenience that trucks bring to the modern world. Basically from farm. What's it called? From farm to fork. The idea that over 70% of all goods are in one way, shape, or form are transported by truck.
Yep.
Basically, everyone likes how you improve their standard of living. All the building materials, all the food, all the clothes, all the merchandise. But I've also heard increasingly people they don't want to be bothered with you. They go somewhere else. It's very much a NIMBY situation, not in my backyard. They don't like. For example, isn't it true Walmart, for years and years, Walmart used to allow truckers, all kinds of truckers, to park like in their back lots, but now they've kind of stopped that practice?
Yeah.
That's not good for you. That's not good for you. There's Walmarts everywhere.
Right. And the thing is I won't, I will literally not, I won't stop at a Walmart. Like I said, if they want their stuff, if I'm delivering if I happen to deliver to a Walmart and I can't park there, do they want the stuff now if I got 2 hours left, or do they want it tomorrow morning?
Sure.
You know, that's the
Sure.
dilemma. Because I only got like 2 hours left, and you don't want me parking there. That means that you want it tomorrow morning. It doesn't matter what the bill of lading says. You're gonna get it tomorrow morning, and if you turn me down, you'll get it whenever. Or I'll take it back to the shipper.
Yes, right. No, I got a good taste of that. Again, I drove local for almost 4 years, and I tried over the road for 6 weeks, and I got a real good taste of that. Yeah, the bill of lading, and they want you to be there by a certain time, and you got this 15-minute window. Otherwise, they give you shit. And yeah, one load I actually had to take back because I don't know, it's time sensitive, all this stuff.
Hey,
Um,
look, I
let
pull
me
a flat.
ask you this. I don't know if you saw. I made a very quick trailer to this opening. Basically, I uploaded a video 40 minutes ago, and it was showing record high gas prices here in Chicago. Can you talk for a second about the gas prices just in the trucking industry? You've been in trucking for what, 4 years, 5 years? How is this affecting the trucking industry?
Man, all I know is like I am so glad I'm not an owner operator. And the thing is about being an owner operator, you're paying the gas, you're paying the insurance, and that's coming out of your pocket. And it's like, and you got people from other countries that are doing the stuff for cheap, driving the cost of freight down. Now now that's all well and good, except for the fact is the cost of gas is going up. The cost of diesel fuel is going up. So with the cost of diesel fuel going up, you don't and the cost of freight going down, you got owner operators parking their trucks until like season owner operators parking their trucks. See,
Sure.
the people from the other country, they don't get it until they run out of gas, until they run out of diesel fuel. That
Yes,
man,
right. I don't know if you saw. I just saw a report. I just saw a report out of the country of Sri Lanka. Apparently, the country of Sri Lanka has run out of gas.
sucks to be them.
There literally is no gas on the island. It's an island about the size of Illinois, and it has no gas.
They're gonna be. They better break out the horse and buggy.
Yeah, I guess so. But a lot of modern jobs are reliant on people having access to combustible or
Exactly.
gasoline. So
First things
this is going to be. I'm sorry.
first things foremost, they should start investing in like biodiesel. A diesel engine can run on practically any type of oil. You know, if it doesn't have the
Yeah,
BPF system.
yeah. Yeah. No, whenever we get into this conversation or conversations like this, oh, how can we alleviate, problems with energy, energy independence.
The thing
The
is,
last. I'm sorry.
they don't want to alleviate the problems with energy independence. They
Right.
want to cause problems.
Right,
You know,
right. I'm also convinced of that as well. Right. I believe that there is an effort to force what you could call codependency on the various nations of the world. Um, Presidents have been saying for not years but decades. Oh yeah, energy independence. America, we're going to be energy independent. Blah blah blah. They've been saying that for over 60 years, and I'm not seeing it. So. Also,
they accept, yeah.
I'm hearing reports. I'm hearing reports. Gasoline in California is now topping $7.50. Have you heard this?
Wouldn't surprise that. It doesn't surprise me if I didn't.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, let's circle back. Let's talk about Mgtow for a couple minutes. Can I formally interview you as a Mgtow man?
Yeah. Sure.
Excellent. Okay. Let's start with let's do a quick who, what, when, where, why. I'm going to cede the floor over to you for I don't know, 2 to 4 minutes. If you can talk about yourself, Who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? Anything you want to mention about your scholastic achievement, high school, your trade school, your hobbies, and then from there we'll segue into how you became or how you fashioned yourself to become a Mgtow minded man.
Well, let's see. I'm from. My name is Red. Red Pill in the Wind, formerly known on my channel as Mgtow in the Wind, and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I graduated high school. I do have some college credits, mostly I have college credits in English, physics, and in electrical work. I got. I also got theory of flight, theory of jet propulsion, and practical application in jet propulsion, mostly from the combination from the military and this place that I would that if it wasn't for math, I would have graduated with a bachelor's degree in aviation. But problem is my number one problem is math. Um, I got a CDL right after I realized that math is going to be my weakest subject, basic math, not physics, which is strange for a lot of people. So I can do some form of a quadratic equation, but when it comes to the basic math, it I draw a blank. I served in the military since 2009. I'm about to get some sort of discharge for not allowing them to hit me with a hot shot on June 30th, and I'm okay with it. My hobbies, well, when I'm home, I usually play video games. Like sometimes I might mess around with my guitar. Don't ask me to play a song because I'm just messing around with it, you know,
Sure.
just fretting around, is what they would say. I
What
guess.
uh, what 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 games are you currently playing right now?
Well, currently I have Skyrim on the Switch because the Switch is portable. Skyrim on the
Okay.
Switch, Legend of Zelda, a little bit of Crash Bandicoot, and a lot of Legend of Zelda games.
Sure. Okay. So to wrap up the intro, so you're. Oh, and I'm sorry. How old are you?
I am 34. I'll be 35 in September.
Okay. So you're currently 34 years old. Okay. So uh, you call yourself. I'm sorry. You are Red Pill in the Wind, but you used to call yourself Mgtow in the Wind. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Why do you call yourself a Mgtow in the Wind, or for that matter, now Red Pill in the Wind?
Well, according, I pissed with some I I pissed with Tico.
Yeah.
I
Tico Trend.
decided, yeah, I decided to upset his girlfriend on purpose. Oh, good times. And she decided that, okay, you want to play this game with me? I got something for you. And I got something. I got something to fix you. Like say, keep pissing with me. You won't have the energy to piss with me when I'm done. When I'm done with you. And apparently, I have a stalker.
Okay. Okay.
Hey,
So you're again you're 34. Oh,
yep,
you're black. You're black, right? You're a black man. You're African
yep,
American.
yep.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, I'll ask this right now. You did you have a father growing up?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay. Very
Yep.
good. Right, right.
Had
We all know how endemic fatherlessness is
in the black
increasingly in
community.
in the wider community, but especially the Black community.
Oh yeah, it's prevalent. Like I can count on, I think, one hand of all of my friends. Well, of course, then again, I only had a few friends growing up, but I could count a few people in my neighborhood on about one, maybe two hands of everybody who had a father in the household.
Sure.
You
Sure,
know?
right. No, it's terrible. I can't remember what year this was. This is already old. I think 2 years ago, in 2020, fiscal year 2020, the Pew Research Institute, they did a study. They found that 42% of all recorded live births were to unwed mothers, and that's across the board. So
Yep.
that number's going up every year. Fewer and fewer people are having fathers in the homes.
Yep. Because all
Okay.
because of strong and independent. Don't need no
Right.
man.
Yeah. Strong, strong and independent. You got it. You got it.
And
Okay,
there's
so, so to wrap that up, you're red pill. I'm sorry, is it red pill in the wind or Mgtow in the wind? Which one were you first?
either I was Mgtow to win first.
Okay, now you call yourself red pill. Okay, so
Yeah.
now you're red pill in the wind. Okay, red pill in the wind. You're a young, you're a black man. You're 35. You're 34 years old.
Yep.
You're from Pittsburgh. You were in the military, or you're currently in the military. It looks like you might be discharged sometime very soon. You picked up your CDL, and now you've been trucking for what, 4 years, 5 years? All that sound about right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. What brought you to Mgtow? What was a red pill, or what was the process under which you share with us some of your experiences? Have you ever been cheated on? Girlfriends?
Nope.
The girlfriends ever call the police on you?
Never had a
Uh,
girlfriend. Never had a successful relationship that lasted more than 2 weeks.
I see.
I mean, literally,
Um,
like, like all pretty much either early on in my life, they weren't interested in me. You know, I mean, when I was interested in one chick, I got basically beat up.
I thought I remember talking with you. I'm sorry. I thought I remember talking with you once, and you were relating to me the story that when you were young, when in your teenage years, you were kind of you were really skinny, and then
Oh,
you kind of filled out talking specifically about your musculature. You were really skinny, and then finally in your 20s, you started putting on muscle. Is that right?
I mean, my muscles became because I was skinny. My muscles were more efficient. You know, I had a high metabolism, and they were more efficient. They were. I was skinny, but I could do a lot more with them.
Okay.
Like,
I just quickly, I just saw a question in the comment section by Sage. Sage addressed a question to you while we're here. If I could ask you, Sage is asking you what your what your MOS, or what your job in the military was.
my job in the Marine Corps was 6227 F-18 engine mechanic, intermediate level. I basically worked on the F-18 engines. I mean, I was good at my job, but the stress of the command, it was a toxic command. Let's just sort of say that one, a very toxic command, and I didn't want to spend any more time than I had to be. I wanted to get out of there. My current MOS in the National Guard is 11 Bravo Infantry. I'm currently in a heavy weapons unit, and basically I'm getting ready to get processed out. And on my way out the door, I'm just gonna let it all hang out. I'm just gonna do the best that I can on my way out the door, you know?
Sure. Okay. So you've never been married. Do you have any children?
Nope.
Okay, good for you.
They ain't got no
Um,
kids, ain't got no wife.
right. Yeah, no kids, no wife, no mortgage. Yeah, no, it's
Right.
amazing how some people in our age bracket, I consider you very similar to my age, although I'm what, 4, 5. I'm I think I'm over 4 years older than you, but we're relatively similar in age. A lot of guys our age, they do have wives and they're tied down and they have commitments, and yeah, so isn't it a nice feeling to be able to just, in your case, quite literally, just get up and go anytime you wish?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's like, it's like I ain't got no kids to hold me down. I ain't got a. I'm not losing any sleep, and whenever I get on the 34 and I get on a rest break, I could just basically park the truck for about a couple of days in a parking spot and just crack open a cold one and sit on a lawn chair and pull out my telescope and my telescope and watch and look at the stars,
Sure.
weather permitting.
And just for those who don't know, when you say you're 34, I'm assuming you're talking about your 34-hour reset again in the world of
Yep,
trucking.
yep. 34-hour reset. Yep.
Right, right, very good. Yeah, no, it's absolutely it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a feeling of freedom. Um, so can you share some of your experiences talking about like past girlfriends?
Oh,
So you said most of your girlfriends, you've never dated anyone for like 3, 4 years, nothing like that. All your relationships were short.
man, all my relationships never last. Any relationships that I did manage to get never lasted more than 2 weeks. You know, because
Sure.
which is the same reason I live with my sister, because being that my relationships never lasted more than 2 weeks. Well, the denominating factor, well, sister got the trash out the way. Like the first, like said, which is one of the reasons why I advocate men keeping their virginity. Allergies. I advocate for men keeping their virginity and don't give it up. Don't ever give up your virginity. And basically, what it is like the first time was literally with a trash person. It was a
Okay.
trash individual. And with that being said, I wish I'd have kept my virginity back then.
Yeah. Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah, you live and you learn, because when we've all been there before, and I'm not afraid to admit it. When a man loses his virginity, he becomes attached, you know,
Mm,
attached to that person. Much like when women lose their virginity, they become attached to that person, you know?
sure. Right.
Like it affects men differently.
It's called.
You
I can't
know,
remember the name of the.
pair
Right.
bonding.
Right. Right. Women literally pair bond to the first person that they have sex with. I can't remember the name of the chemical that it releases. Not norepinephrine.
Oxytocin or
I think it's
oxytocin.
yeah. I think it's oxy. Yeah, I think it's oxytocin. That's right. I think it's oxytocin. And it's been proven through science that after about the third or fourth partner, the female loses the ability to pair bond, and well, after that, they're useless slores who ought to be avoided. What say you about that?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much is like they lose the ability, because first thing foremost, they recover faster from a breakup after the third or fourth person. They're able to just basically just go with another relationship, go with this other relationship, go with this other relationship. Men, it's basically we go through withdrawals. We become
I completely agree.
depressed. you
I
know
completely agree. Let me share with you a story. This is a true story, true to life. When I was in university, um, When I was 23 years old, my father sent me over 700 miles away, 3 states away, to South Dakota to go to university. Or I started in Chicago. I transferred and graduated from SDSU, South Dakota State University. And there I met a girl, beautiful girl, beautiful, or at least she was, she was my standard of beauty. She was 19, blonde hair, blue eyes, big tits, natural C's, big, just beautiful, beautiful girl. I fell deeply in love with her. We dated for almost 3 years. And I can tell you, honestly, after we'd broken up, I went into what I would describe as like a depression that lasted for a couple years. I would dream about her. No joke. I would dream about her almost every day. You can't control your dreams. I would dream about her, and I just felt totally crushed inside. And then whatever, I don't know, 2 years later, 3 years later, I just started moving on, started dating again, and then now I'm basically a vicious criminal sociopath. I can go through them like water. So
I just don't even get. I don't form any type of bonds with women anymore outside of my family. I don't form any type of bonds whatsoever. It's like I don't even bother looking anymore, because it's like, why am I going to look to be? Why am I going to go window shopping? I see looking at women the same way I see window shopping.
sure.
Either you can't afford it, you can't have it. Why look at it?
I hear you. Yeah, no, I kind of like that as well. I mean, I definitely don't go looking for it. When I say look, when
Oh,
I say relationship, long-term relationship, and I use call girl. Oh, in fact, you know what? I wanted to ask you about that. What's your stance on that? And what's the state of lot lizards these days across the country?
I don't have a clue. I mean, I
Come on,
lock my door.
don't
I
bullshit
lock
me. Come
my
on,
doors.
I know you see him.
I don't let them.
I
I
know
don't let them in my truck. I don't let them in my truck. I like my Johnson attached to my body and not dripping down the side of my legs and affected pus.
Right, right. Do you see him though? You see him out there?
I mean, I've seen a couple, but they ain't coming in my truck. I don't let them in my truck. That's why I got a dog.
Right.
People,
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You have a dog. I've seen your dog.
yeah, pit bull border collie. Because of the pit bull in them, it intimidates people.
Sure.
And it's like, I would much rather keep him in the truck, because he keeps a lot lizards away.
Sure. He keeps the lot lizards away.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. You got an early warning system there.
Yeah, but apparently, according to Tico, that early warning system was kind of compromised with the cartel assassin.
I'm sorry. I actually did not catch that last part. According to Tico, Trend,
my
what now?
my early warning system was compromised due to the cartel assassin. Because so when he sees her, he knows to be quiet, because he's going to get bacon. He
Oh,
gets
right.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like,
Right. Very good.
that's what happens when you piss with somebody with resources. Piss with a chick with resources.
There you go. There you
You,
go.
you end up playing fuck games.
So you, as a general rule, you eschew, you scorn the idea of hiring prostitutes. You think that's wrong?
For me, I don't scorn it. We're all human. You got needs. You got wants. I don't frown upon it. I mean, if you can do it and not get no, and you just if you're gonna do it, be careful. You know,
Sure.
be careful. You know, because they got sting operations you got to worry about. First things foremost, don't go. First things foremost, here's a little thing: observe the cars that are in the area.
Sure.
Do not, if the car's tint is too dark, the air. I mean, assume that the area is too hot, and always look. I mean, I always assume that if the car's tint is too dark, I call it off. You know, I mean, that's what that's back then. Back then, I would call it off, and I would also look at the grill of the car, the grills of the car. You know, the
Sure.
grill, the tops and the bottom of the front windshields. The
So
tint,
basically,
like,
you're saying try to see if you're dealing with any sort of like undercover cops or anything.
yep,
Okay. Yeah, I remember
like,
one time. This was a long time ago. This is probably 5, 6 years ago. I remember there was a sting here in Chicago on Pulaski Avenue, and you know how you can tell was the girl herself. She looked like, first off, she was too young and pretty. All right, but they dressed her up to almost look like a. I don't know how to describe it. Imagine like a
they
like
aged
a
they aged her up with makeup.
yeah. They were putting I don't know how to describe it other than it looks like a paper mache windmill looking thing. She had all these weird looking pieces of paper or something attached to her hair. It basically she looked like it. She looked like a clown. She didn't look like someone. I'm telling you, this was an IQ test. You know, all the low IQ guys who wanted some pussy, they just see this girl and they're going to pull over. She looked too good to be a prostitute. So and
Right,
then and then they pull the guy over, arrest him. Of course, they impound his car. Now he's got to go to court, all his money, thousands of dollars, and
right,
yeah, no, it's you got to be careful. I agree.
right.
Um,
Just be careful.
okay, so to wrap up this formal interview, can you please share with us? I mean, you got to have at least one story. Do you have at least one story of any sort of malevolent behavior by a woman? It could even be like a government official. Is any woman you've ever met in public malfeasance by a police officer, a lady cop? Um,
My last,
it,
my last girlfriend would probably be the longest relationship I've ever had. Basically, she was on drugs. I told her, "Look, you got to kick the drugs, or I'm gone." You know, and apparently she liked drugs more, so I left her be. I let her be. You know, because that's the first and the last time I've ever seen a chick smoke crack.
what kind of drugs was she going on?
She was on crack, cocaine, that the glass bottle, that glass dick, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No,
it,
no,
and
that's
it,
yeah, no. Stay
yeah,
away from that.
when you hear when you see for the first time her so a woman take a hit of crack, it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, it's
She's making,
last seen smoking crack out of a empty Coca-Cola can or something. Yeah,
yeah.
no,
I'm
no,
like,
be avoiding that. That's a smart move. I mean, I have dated a girl who was kind of like a pothead, which is like a little bit more acceptable, but still, it's not really acceptable because these girls they don't I don't
they
know
got they got iron lungs. These chicks got iron lungs. One of the reasons
yeah, right.
if I was smoking if I was a weed pot smoker, I would never date a pothead because they got iron lungs. You know, they literally chief. You start a blunt and they'll chief it. You know, they're like
Sure,
an 18th
sure. No, I
century
know. I
locomotive.
smoked. I smoked a lot of pot in college. I've given that up think the last time I smoked pot, I was 26 or maybe 27. Yeah, 27. I graduated when I was 28. Yeah, it's 27.
Last, yeah, I was 21 when I quit smoking pot because I had to go to the military. You know.
Right, of course, absolutely, and all for it. And now you have a CDL, as you know as well as I do. We can't even touch that stuff. Anything goes down, if there's ever an accident, one of the first things they're going to do is they're going to piss test you.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you piss hot, then you're in big trouble. You basically lose your license.
Yep, that's your tail end.
Right.
And I got.
Cover your 6. You know that.
I got 3 key events. One of them's in elementary. Actually, 2 of them are in elementary, and the other one's when I was going on my deployment. Actually, 4. The first one is in elementary.
What do you mean when you say key event? You mean they piss tested you?
No. Key events which drove me to Mgtow and the red pill.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah, continue.
The first key event was when I got my behind whooped by chick's brothers, and got stomped. The second event was in the schoolyard, in a school recess, where the female teachers saw me get stomped by this chick. And as I'm laying there, she looks at and tells me that you're gonna die single. You're gonna die. You're never gonna get a girlfriend. You're never gonna get. Nobody is gonna want to marry you, and nobody's gonna want to date you or anything.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, and it's like, as a kid, seeing my mother and father dynamic, you're subconsciously raised to want that growing up, and that, as time goes on, it begins to eat away at you, begins to destroy you. The third event was learning about the friend zone when I was in the military. Oh my goodness, I got friend zoned twice. The fourth event was on my deployment, where I saw a fellow serviceman got a Dear John text on the plane to Jordan. And I think that the fifth one is when I realized that no matter what the qualifications, no matter how intelligent she sounds, no matter how much knowledge she has in the medical field, she's still a flippin' idiot. Because that event was where she decided to go on a one-night stand and apparently unprotected sex and got pregnant with twins and mysteriously miscarried.
Sure.
I call bullshit. Plan B is a motherfucker.
Yeah. No, you got girls plotting all kinds of stuff out here. Nothing surprises me anymore.
I just backed off and said screw it all. It's like I'm done. I'm just done. I mean, I was done at 31, and now I'm 34, almost 35. I'm really done. Like I said in my previous video, I don't think these women got the charm to fucking pull me.
Well, let me say this. I guess I mostly support your decision. What I would say though is I would try to convince you of getting into escort maxing, or basically finding girls who do the pay to play situation.
I would rather chalk my wheels, release the brakes, and pull the goddamn chocks out from the tire and crush my goddamn skull before I did.
That's fine. And yeah. I just think I have this idea that men have needs, or people get lonely, And I just have this idea that, I on a philosophical level, I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong to pay
I
for it.
mean, it's not wrong, but it's like my dad told me this: you got a right hand, you got a left hand. Use it.
Sure.
I mean, it's just what it is. It's like the thing is like I'm just so emotionally damaged that it's like I don't think I'll be able to freaking keep it up. You know?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna open up the floor to all of you guys. So now you guys can speak freely, all of you.
All right.
Awesome. Mgtow Cowboy, what you been up to, man?
What's up? Just living life, enjoying these sky high gas prices.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean they're pretty brutal, man. It's so bad in Cali, Doug, and I think Arizona. If you're close to the border towns, they're filling up across in Mexico,
Yeah.
especially on the weekends. So
Damn.
yeah, yeah. These gas prices are outrageous. Anyways, I know Hornmaxer made a video recently, and he like mentioned like your weight or something. Like I don't know if you don't mind like explaining that a little bit.
Who, me?
No, Mgtow Cowboy. If he's still there.
I think he left. He's been lagging.
Oh,
He's
right,
been
right. I'm
lagging.
sorry. Okay. No, I removed myself from the stream, and I was trying to add another person. I can only have up to 6 people. Yeah, no, there's nothing.
Oh,
There's nothing really to explain. Especially when it comes to my weight, I really have a hard time defending Hormaxer's position. Hormaxer is right. I mean, I'm under 300 now. I think I'm like 290 something. But yeah, let's just round it up to 300. There's no defending that. There's no defending that. And maybe right now I'm still, relatively young, and I'm in relatively good health, but I'm the type of person, who would be an excellent candidate for like a stroke or something, starting maybe in my 40s or 50s. He's totally right. He's totally right, and it's something I have to address. And what can I do? What can I do?
gotcha. Okay. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in regards to Hormaxon, I know he's looking forward to going to Tijuana, which is great. It's a lot of good things to do there in terms of having different options with women. From the oh, nice. He said he'll be on here in another hour. That's perfect.
Yeah, right. Just a shout out. If you hear me, if you're there, Hormaxer, yeah, if you want to come on, that's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be going for at least another hour, probably hour and a half or more.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of options there with the strip clubs, the girls on the street, massage parlors. So, and even a lot of people don't know, but the swinger scene in Mexico is really, really big, man. Really big. So there's unlimited opportunities compared to just solely Jester Maxing here in the United States. And if guys don't know what Jester Maxing is basically going to bars and nightclubs and trying to pick up women.
Well, look, I was like I said, I follow this rule. Nothing good happens after the sun goes down if you ain't in your own bed. I
Yeah,
mean, that,
yeah, I understand that concept, and that's true. Or how my Mexican grandmother used to tell me, Joe, after midnight, nothing good happens. I understand. Yes. Okay, but here's the problem. That's true, but also, you know, you have to. Times have changed. Like you said. Like, why are all of us talking right now? You can't just get a girl like it was 30 years ago, 50 years ago.
I mean,
What
hell,
I do
10 years
with
ago, 10 or
I'm sorry.
10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah. No. Right. Yeah. I started university 20 years ago. It's amazing how old. I'm getting old already. I'll be 40. I remember 20 years ago, people would still date. No one goes on
Right,
dates anymore.
right. Well, I kind of feel that the elements have for dating has changed. It's basically it's now almost like the rich versus the poor, where basically if you're an average guy, it's going to be very, very tough for you. But if you're a halfway decent looking dude, you can win, especially off of dating apps and going out. And also depends on your location. Like if you're in a major city, there's because of feminism, women want to be single. Women are delaying having kids. So, I joked with my homeboy about this because Mgtow Cowboy, I'm pretty much around the same age as you. I'm into my mid to late 30s. We said, okay, once we hit a prime age where we can't get girls under 25, the women that are going to be in the 30s to 35, year old range, they're not going to have kids, and they're going to want men that are established, and the younger guys are not going to really want them because guys that are able to get women under, I would say under 30, they're not really checking out for the girls between the 30 to 35-year-old range. So there's going to be a big pool of women that are still going to be single that guys will still be able to have access to if you kind of preserve your looks.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, when I first started college, I was like, I don't know, 100 pounds lighter than I am now. And it was pretty easy. And I was younger, all that. Yeah,
Right.
You let yourself go. I mean, it's harder. I imagine, I opine, if I was, let's say, just a nice round number, 100 pounds lighter than I am now, I imagine it would, I could still be able to date, and whatever, short-term, long-term date. But I don't know. I just, I've settled in. Maybe I've resigned myself to just, getting call girls. And also I've noticed my sex drive is dropping a little bit. I've made a commitment, or I've decided that I'm probably going to try a TRT or testosterone replacement therapy when I turn 40, which now is a year and 4 months, or year 5 months, something like that.
Right. Which for me, I know a lot of dudes are doing it. I mean, the only problem with TRT is when you get off TRT. Yeah, man, that's the only bad thing about TRT.
Hello? When you get off TRT?
Look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like your body, it once you get off TRT, you blow up, and like your body is just like nasty looking. Like it's just horrible, man.
I mean, what I would say to that is I think he really went hard with it. I wouldn't be surprised if he was stacking. I don't know if you guys, does anyone here know what stacking is? When you run multiple cycles, you guys?
The steroids?
Yes. Anabolic steroids, yeah.
For me, I come from a family to where if where we have a high, like the men always had a high libido into their later age, even at 60 something, like they had a high libido, to where it's just, for me, it's more the fact is the matter is like I'm just so drained, so emotionally and drained from from terrible women that I look. It's like from terrible women and many connections that have failed. That it's I probably need therapy.
Okay, now the thing is, like, what is it that because all right, we all, I'm probably sure everyone here on this panel has been heartbroken, but it's kind of like, look, you know,
I've had
we
my ass kicked
understand,
twice.
right? We understand female behavior, but I can't live a sad life because I've
I'm
been
not sad.
heartbroken.
I'm just living the best as way as I can. I'm just enjoying whatever I got.
I don't mean
Okay.
to
It's just
What I,
interrupt,
what
like
I
but can
would say,
anybody hear me?
yes, yeah, oh yeah, Hormaxer, you're on.
What
You're
up,
on.
Hormaxer? What's
Oh,
good?
okay. Oh, is this QB flexing as a password, huh?
Yeah, man.
Okay,
It's
good.
good to have you on.
Yeah, okay, good to be here. I heard you talking about what were you talking about? Testosterone?
Yes, we were talking about
Yeah.
TRT.
Yeah, you don't.
While.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you don't have to worry about coming off of TRT. If you do come off, you always take something called HCG or gonadotropin. That way, you never have the problem that you were trying to discuss or address. It's a life.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not very good with medical science, but I was thinking maybe you could just kind of wean yourself off of TRT.
No, why would you wean yourself off? You're going. First of all, once you pass, especially 35, 40, your levels are going to continue to fall. And any man that doesn't think that that's going to be a problem, because I'm 44, but since I've been on TRT and plus now, because I'm actually running different compounds, not to get jacked, but just to see how I test them myself, because I read the science on them and then I want to see how I feel on them personally. And there's nothing to me like anabolic steroids. It is a complete social brainwashing that's been done, because you see jacked bodybuilders and these guys are huge and they do abuse tremendously. But every man over 35 should be on TRT at the minimum.
Now, you mentioned something about you have to take a supplement once you get off it. Is that like proven that your body is going to be? Is that 100% guarantee that you're not going to have the effects if you don't have that, or how does that kind of go?
Well, if you want to, there's no reason to come off testosterone to begin with. That's a concept that's
You can just
very
stay on it.
outdated.
Stay on it for the rest of
Yeah,
your
it's
life.
very outdated concept, and more people are running from bodybuilders to just average guys are just running what they would call a cruise or just TRT. Now, if you come off, there's something, because a lot of guys like me, I don't want to shut off my testicles' natural production, which when you do take testosterone, that will happen regardless, no matter the amount you take. You could take 500 milligrams or 100 milligrams. So you just inject it. You don't even feel it. You take gonadotropin, or, if you want to go to a clinic, or if you want to get underground, or HCG, and that just keeps your natural production online, your testicles online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me interject quickly. First thing I want to say is my father is on TRT. My father. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I wanted to mention. So again, I'm 38. I turned 39 this year. I remember now going on years for the last, I don't know, 4 years or something. My father, who is now 70, he's on what's it called, TRT, or testosterone replacement therapy.
Uh-huh.
And then yeah, and then so right now, just because we have you as a captive audience here, Hormaxer, can you describe, just to streamline the idea in the minds of any man who would consider doing this, in your own words? Let's say you're just an average. Let's say you're an average Joe like me, Joe Q Public, and you want to start on testosterone. What are all the steps? I mean, it's not just anabolic steroids. Some people also take what's it called, trembolone.
Yeah. All those other compounds, you don't have to first, because you probably just want to start with just straight testosterone, and just.
I was going to say, how does it start? If I cede the floor to you in 2 or 3 minutes,
this is what happens.
How did you do it?
Well, basically, I noticed, because I had a natural high level to about the age of 40. And then I started noticing it fell off to about 600 nanograms, which I was running 1,000 actually, which is the higher normal level. And I said, I don't want that. I don't want this to be falling. And I didn't know a lot then. So I just started, researching, and I said, I'm going to go to a clinic. And, they started, giving me like 150 milligrams per week. With just a small amount of Arimidex, which is an estrogen blocker, which sometimes you don't even need at that level. and just some HCG, which that's how I started.
Okay.
But
I'm sorry. Hold on. Back up the trolley there. Okay, so now you just introduced. Okay, so you have TRT, and there's also something called Trembolone, and there's also something called what is it? It's an estrogen blocker. What'd you call it?
Yeah, it's called a Rimidex. It's just like some guys, especially bodybuilders. You ever see if they ever get like gynecomastia, or they get like their nipples
Titty.
can get real sensitive, but it's generally at higher dosages. But now the common protocol is to give a small amount of a Rimidex, which I believe in because I think it's a good form to have the estrogen. You don't want to knock estrogen out completely, but you want to have it on the lower end.
Okay, and so I mean, how does all this work? Are you just injecting shit left and right? You follow a very strict regimen? How does
Well, I'll inject
cycle it all in?
Yeah, to start with, like for somebody like you, I would just start with 100. If you do a clinic, and if you want to go through like your medical insurance and do it that way too, you just want to go to a clinic because right now, you want to lose weight. Part of the problem is too, your probably levels. I would bet money that your levels are low, and men that are generally obese will have low testosterone levels. Generally, it's generally true. And being that
and higher estrogen levels, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they'll have it. Right. They'll have it. And I said, but what will help you lose the weight is getting on testosterone. You don't have to start blasting steroid. I mean, you just want to start with, regular. And then as you go on and you get more familiar, if you want to try out different compounds, you can. There's underground labs that are very safe. I've used them for, the past 6 months. And everybody complains, but I laugh at these people because I said, listen, the compounds are all there. You have to know a little bit, just what you're doing. Everybody's body's going to be different. It depends on what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Now, Hormaxer, I have a serious question for you in regards to the TRT and the looks maxing.
Sure.
Obviously, I'm a fan of your channel. I'm a critic of your channel. I'm a YouTuber as well. Would you say with the whole TRT and, you going healthy, there are limitations with looks maxing, correct?
Well, sure. I mean, there's going to be limits on anything in terms of like, in terms of your body, your genetics, how far you want to go, how much you want to build your body in terms of that. In terms of looks maxing, I'm talking about, building your body. I'm not a bodybuilder per se, but, I enjoy working out a lot of calisthenics.
But you're taking the TRT to improve your aesthetics, your body aesthetics, correct?
That's only part of it. I also do it because it's a neurotropic. It helps me mentally. It makes me feel good, makes me feel passion for life. Most men are, by the time they're 35, they got pot bellies, they're out of shape. And a good part of it is their diet. And also their testosterone levels are flying off a fucking cliff. And there's a horrible thing in society because maybe it's because it's through bodybuilders. They only see these huge jacked up guys that carry 280 pounds. But what the public doesn't realize is that those guys that you see, those jacked up pro bodybuilders, they're running 6 and 7 grams of compounds and different gear.
Right, they're stacking, right? They're probably running many cycles at once.
Yeah, many, and the calories are insane.
Right. Yeah. Well, the point that I'm trying to get at, Hormaxer, because to me, I would tell a guy like, okay, lose the weight naturally, maybe take a diet pill. I'm in total agreement with you wanting to lose weight and be at the best you can be, in terms of your physique. However, there are limitations with that. And the limitations are, that doesn't mean that, okay, you lost 50 pounds or you lost 100 pounds, women are going to find you more attractive.
Well, I would disagree with that. If you take a man.
Okay. Why do you disagree with that?
Well, if you take a man, let's say, I don't know what Mgtow Cowboy looks like, but let's say he's an average or slightly above average, under the 300 pound fat layer what he has right now. Now there is you or nobody else are going to tell me that man, if he lost that weight and started getting in shape, is not going to stand a better chance meeting a woman naturally outside of Hormaxing, which I am in favor of, by the way, as you know.
Right. Of course.
And so if somebody loses and they're somewhat already decent looking and they lose 100 pounds of fat and build some muscle, of course they're going to be more attractive to a woman.
Hey,
I mean, they may not
so
flock to a woman.
this is my disagreement is because, all right, for example, with you, you know, you are Jester Maxon, you took the TRT,
Yeah.
but it seems like you're really struggling to find a decent looking woman, and that's where I said it comes with limitations. A
Well,
decent
yeah, but you
looking
also
woman,
got to remember, I'm 44 though,
it
and
don't matter. It
huh?
don't matter. It's still,
You
it
sure
doesn't
all
matter.
those things alright?
hey, I'm gonna let y'all go because I gotta get on the team when it's 10 hour, and I gotta
Oh,
get me.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, Red Pill in the wind. Thank you very much for that first half-hour interview. I very much appreciate it.
Hey, it's no problem, man. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, I'm sorry. I had been chasing you for weeks, trying to get that interview in.
Yeah, it's like I've been in and out of everywhere and anywhere. You know, it's been these past couple months. It's been kind of hectic for me too. You know.
All right.
Well,
All right.
I will continue to be in touch, of course, and of course, I recommend don't get the Jabberwocky, even if they're going to throw you out of the service.
Oh
Remember,
yeah.
you're going to get
Right.
myocarditis, pericarditis. And
Right.
also, in the future, I'll probably want to ask you a couple more questions about trucking. But for now, I'll let you go. Okay.
All right. Like I said, I'm also going on my last day. I'm gonna give them my prediction, and if they take it to heart and oh well.
All
Well,
right.
good night, y'all.
All right. Have a good one.
All
Okay.
right. Red
So
pill in the wind. That was everyone. That was red pill in the wind. Bye now.
okay. Cool. So as I was saying, Hormaxer, it comes with limitations. You know, even you being at the healthy state that you are, and regardless of your age, that you're 44, you're still are not able to attract the women that you desire.
yeah,
Okay.
but you're not. Let me tell you something. I don't know what
Go
you
ahead.
believe,
Go.
but if you're here, okay, just by you walking into a bar and sitting down, nines and tens are not coming up to you. I don't care what you tell me and what you want your audience to believe. I don't believe that for a second. That's right. And second of
Okay.
all, yeah, I said you'll pay for that. So I mean, if I'm talking about legit nines and tens, and they're not, you are not walking in. I don't care. Like I said, you can tell your audience whatever you want to believe, and that's bullshit. I'm gonna say that's bullshit. Okay, you can tell me,
Okay,
well,
so you're basically saying that I'm not able to attract decent looking women, correct?
I don't know what you think decent. I mean, maybe you could attract an average, to a slightly above average woman. I don't think you're going to attract beautiful women.
Okay, well,
No,
for one, hold on, Maxer. I'm 6'4", I'm
doesn't
about
matter.
230. Okay, let me just say what I gotta say. I can admit, being a black pillar, that my advantage is my height, and when I've been out to bars or clubs, for the most part, I'm not going to say that, oh, I've slain every night that I've been out, but I've never had an issue attracting decent looking women,
How old are you?
period. I'm 37.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, you can, okay, maybe, I can't approve or approve what you're
When
saying
you
or
go to
whatever.
my channel, Hormaxer, when you see the Las Vegas short that I pulled up, there were 7 decent looking women in my whole entire table section.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was at a
Mm-hmm.
nightclub. That
Mm-hmm.
was Dre's nightclub in Vegas.
Okay, and
I
you weren't
also,
paying for those women. You didn't pay for those women. They just came up
no,
to
of
you.
course not. I didn't pay for the women. I paid
Mhm.
for the liquor. I paid for the alcohol.
Okay, well, how much was that alcohol that woman was drinking? Because you could buy a bottle of alcohol in those type of nightclubs and spend easily a couple $100 just on a bottle.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. So
Mm-hmm.
it was me and 3 other guys. We split at a table. And I think for that night, I probably came out a little bit over 200, as
Okay,
part of
so
my.
you
Hmm. Go
okay,
ahead.
so you split a bottle. Okay, maybe they thought because you're a black guy and you're tall that you're like a celebrity or like a sports like a basketball player, maybe around that. A lot of women in those nightclubs, like I said, I went to one. I find them very superficial, not because that the
Hmm.
women. I think the women are just there for validation for the most part. But I at least looked at and saw. But
But
I
but the thing is, for Maxer, I've been to bars in California, from Sacramento to San Diego.
okay. So why are
Um,
you paying for pussy in Mexico?
Okay, I'm going to tell you why. That is a very good question. So, for me, if I want to engage in casual sex, I don't want to do the whole dating thing here in the United States. Okay. So
Okay.
if I go out and meet a girl, let's just say at a bar or nightclub, it's pretty much a one night stand or a done deal.
Mhm.
And the reason why I say that is because I am dating a girl steadily in Mexico, and she's 23 years old with no kids, and she's decent looking. Okay.
Mhm.
So me going out and doing more than one date with any girl in the United States is a waste of time. So if I want casual sex,
Mhm.
I will do pay to play in between the times that I'm not with the girl that I'm dating in Mexico.
Okay, and I agree with you on that because I'll give you an example. Because I
Okay.
went to a rock club. It wasn't like a nightclub; it was just a rock place, and they got live music. And I met a woman
Hmm.
there. And she was not beautiful, but I would just deem her attractive. And I
Right.
was talking to her the whole night. And afterward, then the next day, I met up with her, and I took her out to dinner because I thought it was going to be good. There was a lot of what they call those choosing signals and all that crap. But afterwards, after all, basically feeling her up at the restaurant. I made a video on this, and all that said and done. At the end,
Hmm.
she told me she wanted to be courted, and I said, "Oh my god!"
Right.
I'm thinking in my head, my dick went down. It went limp after that. I said, "What does that mean, courting?" I didn't get into it with her, but I said, "What is this? What are we in Victorian England? This is the problem." I said, "If a woman will at least give me some sex, some good sex, I'll take you out. I don't have the biggest deal with that." But
Right.
these women seem to want to have that game here, where in Mexico it doesn't.
Exactly, and that's where I'm getting to, Cormac, sir. I really, it's great that I'm talking to you live on the stream, but you will have the opportunity, and I can't guarantee it, but you will have an opportunity to meet a non-pro in Mexico if you gesture max out there as well. You know,
Yeah, I believe
so
you. I mean, I think like you said, it's a different atmosphere. So, I would agree with you there. I mean, this is like, I'm especially Las Vegas. I mean, it's bad because these women, as you know, even if you
mhm.
meet somebody, seem to want to have these multiple dates, like
Well,
before you.
to me is certain women because, like, for example, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Kevin Ray Wilder. Does that do you know about him or no?
I don't know why that sounds familiar, but no, who is he?
Anyways, him and AG Hayden, they're basically pickup artists in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Um, And I criticize them a lot, basically saying, look, if you want to have one, because in my opinion, I'll be honest with you, Max, sir, I think Vegas is excellent for having one night stands with women. However, you have to be in a certain environment to kind of really make that happen. Okay. Unless you're a super Chad or super Tyrone, meeting women off of the strip and having them go to your apartment or your hotel room is really, really highly unlikely. However, if you go to a decent nightclub where the ratio is literally 4 girls to 1 guy, the opportunity is there. But again, like for me and from my experience, instead of, you know, doing the bottle service or paying, I don't know, sometimes a $80 cover charge to get in the nightclub, I can do that in Mexico for 1/4 of the price, you know?
Yeah, and that's true, and it also goes with it's like here, even with escorts here, and I've complained about this many times, which it's more
Hmm.
convenient. I would always get out call and come to my place, but what you get here in this country when you want to use an escort, especially in Vegas, for $300, for instance, for an hour, you're going to get probably a woman that's 35 plus, not the best looking, and kind of run down. That's what you'll
Right,
get for the most
right,
part, unless you get lucky.
right. Right now, I know you're planning to go to Tijuana soon, which is great. It's awesome. I highly recommend. And let's just say you do like it and you want to go there often. What would be the game plan? Like, would you move to San Diego or like how would that work?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if I fell in love with it, I may just move into Tijuana, but
Okay, yeah.
But I don't think a lot of people are going to live in Tijuana. It's not the the most. I don't think their infrastructure is built up there.
No, see, that's where you're wrong. There are plenty of nice areas in Tijuana, gated communities,
Really? Okay.
and yes, there is, man. There is. Believe it or not, the quality of life in Mexico, in my opinion, is better than the United States. If we talk about like costs to
Yeah.
quality of life, Mexico's going to beat it. They have all American restaurants that you like. Now, I know you're pro gun, that would be the only thing you would not be able to have is, your weapon, the right to bear arms down there.
Yeah.
But terms is you being having options with women, enjoying great food, meeting local women, going to the beach, hiking, all that stuff, great internet, that is not an issue whatsoever. And the cool part about Tijuana is you can fly anywhere in Mexico relatively cheap. You can go to Mexico City for $80. You can go to Cabo for less than $100.
Yeah, and that definitely is because I'm not too far. Like I said, driving from Las Vegas or the state, like I said here, driving. I guess that's about until you have to cross over on the border. I don't know, it's about 6 hours, I guess. And then there's the flights, which are what, an hour flight, maybe.
Yes.
So those aren't bad. But I said, I don't understand the places down here. I said, this is an abnormal country. It's abnormal because you go to a place, there's a strip club here that I like the place. But at the end of the day, you have to say, listen, I'm around all these beautiful Cuban women and I can't fuck them. All right. I mean, I guess you can. I mean, you can, but you have to do the thing and and whatnot. And it's still there, But
and here's the thing, for Max, so that you don't know. You also have Mexicali as well, which is closer to Las Vegas, and I can tell you, man, in Mexicali, you can get you a 7.5 or an 8 for below 60 an hour, bro.
Yeah,
And
I said, I mean, that's amazing because if you think about it, what you say is true. And I said, I mean, when you deal with
I experienced it, so this is coming from experience. So just FYI. But go ahead.
Yeah, I said, why would when you learn about, especially like this, and the guy that's interested in either just casual sex or maybe potentially having I guess I don't know, a type of relationship. I said, what the hell are you doing here? It's so ass backwards that it's frightening. It's a frightening situation, and that's why things like popping up, even though I'm not big into like Mgtow anymore and things like that. All these things are popping up online and whatnot. I mean, I got these women on Bumble, and they're not. I said a couple. I mean, not a lot, but I said
I've seen your Bubble matches, and my heart goes out to you. Like
it's frightening.
So I have a friend, believe it or not, or Maxer. This guy is actually 55. He's African American, and he often kind of gets mistaken for Denzel Washington.
Okay.
When he went with me to Mexico City, he met a girl off of Bumble that was, I want to say she was 36 years old. She's a federal police. She drained his balls for 2 days straight.
Yeah,
he had
that's a beautiful thing. I mean, that's wonderful. I mean, I'm glad. Like,
so if he can experience that, now I'll be honest. If he did the whole Bumble and Tinder thing in Vegas, he will probably have shitty results like you. So
it's so horrible. It makes me wince to think about it.
Right. And so it's like, look, man.
I mean, do you know what this one woman, she wanted me to do? I mean, because I said, because I went on the one day and I said, after this, listen, I said, I figured I'm going to tell these women, listen, I want sex, so there's going to be no dating. No bullshit up front. I don't care. I'll just put it right up front. If you like it, fine. If you don't, you don't have to date me. And she wanted to go, and I find it degrading, honestly, to a woman you're not having sex with to go salsa dancing. All right? I'm not going to do that shit. If you're not, like I said, draining my balls, please drain my balls, and then we can go salsa dance.
Right. Now, one thing I do have to be cautious is kind of like, I understand your frustration, Hormaxer, but like, do you tell these women directly that? Because
No, I don't, but I'm going to start
Okay.
to, because it's to the point. If I do go, because I like the place, I actually like, because I like the rock music and I like that genre of music. So I don't mind speaking to a woman, but it's getting to the point. I said, why would I waste my time? And if they don't like it, that's fine. They don't have to like, And before, no, I didn't do that. But I'm getting to the point after just this last date, and the other one saying, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Is this like the 3-date rule? It's just it's stupid to me. I'll tell
Right.
you
Now,
direct.
now, if you don't mind me asking, what's kind of your past? Because I remember you saying something where you haven't been out in 10 to 15 years. So were you?
Not until like real dating and nightclubs. Yeah, it's been a while.
So like, were you married or you had a girlfriend for a long time? And
Well, no, it was just like I said, I just didn't feel that it was an important, thing to really be doing, So I just kind of I just did my own thing and put everything onto the back burners. And I decided at one point, I said, you know what? Because I was kind of became reclusive for a long time, and at a point I just broke out of that, and I said, I don't want to spend the rest of my years, being this way, you know.
mhm.
So yeah, the world has changed,
And
since.
so let me ask you, moving on from that, what would be kind of your ideal game plan for Tijuana? What is it that you want to
So
accomplish?
I want to just go bang ass. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not looking to go. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you can't. I mean, I hope no man is going to the brothels there and expecting to find a relationship. That'd be a little insane.
Well, yes and no. To me, if the woman likes you, I can tell you one thing. A lot of women in Mexico, when it comes to the pros, aka the prostitutes, I have women that were like, yo, I never been with a black guy. Yo, you're not like this overweight, hairy looking dude. Um, and I've literally have women that wanted to spend the night with me and give me the whole girlfriend experience. Now, that comes with limitations because it's like, look, I got to be able to trust you. I don't want shit stealing. I don't want to get drugged. So those are things that I tell guys to be very, very cautious about. But if you wanted the whole like kind of GFE experience where you go to Tijuana, I've literally had relationships with pros saying, okay, you know, they'll give me the hourly rate and they'll do a full night with me because
Mhm.
an overnight in Tijuana is about $300, $350 for an
Yeah,
overnight.
like I said, you get like overnight here, if for these good looking women here, that's easily probably looking at $2,000.
Right. And so an overnight that I've normally paid for where it's mutual with the girls is about $100. Easy $100,
Hmm.
And anytime I go to Tijuana, if I want to do pay for play, the girls will always say, look, you can hit me up directly. There's no middleman. You
Hmm.
get what you want, I get what I want,
Hmm.
and we're both good. And then also another hidden gem, a lot of people don't know, seeking arrangement in Mexico is very, very, very cheap. Very cheap, you know?
Okay, I've heard of this. I never used it. I've heard of it.
Well, I would say when you go to Tijuana, man, you can fill it out for yourself and you can do the whole Bumble and Tinder. But I'm going to be very honest with you. Bumble and Tinder works in cities outside of Tijuana. So Mexico City, Guadalajara, Monterrey, and I will put a bonus Veracruz and Culiacan. But in Tijuana, not so much. You can maybe try it in Ensenada and Mexicali, but Tijuana, that's going to be pretty much the land for pay for play out there.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds like I said, compared to like I said, with any guy, I would think any guys get. I was just curious that I saw you were in the comments, and I want to know because I don't want to go to Tijuana and just get condom blowjobs. I hate that. There's something horrible about that to me. The condom blowjob. I don't mind putting on a condom for sex, just for
Right.
safety reasons. But
So when if you don't mind, we can talk like off of this, but I know the resources where there's certain escort agencies they have the girls, when you pay for them, it's automatically condom without the blowjob. It's called the BBJ experience.
Yeah.
So I can give you that information, off the stream. So therefore you can have that. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah, like some guy left in the comment, he said, like, if you just offer them an extra like $10, $20, they do it.
Well, not every girl, so you want to make sure that's a guaranteed if you want your drains, if you want your balls drained. So you may offer a girl another $10 to $20, but she can still deny you. So that's
okay. But there's always other girls though.
Well, yeah, but again, it's like if you like something that you like, turns is body wise, you want to just go with that girl due to time and not waste any time of, okay, are you going to do this without the condom? Yes or no? You know what I'm saying? So you get straight to the point.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about Mgtow Cowboy? I mean, have you considered, I don't know where you are, what state you're in, but have you ever considered going down there?
So I actually lived in Oaxaca City for one semester many years ago. I've also lived in Spain. But yeah, no, I of course I live in Chicago. I'm very far from the border to address that issue. At the same time, you have to understand that Chicago does have what you could call a very large pool of applicants. There are certain known areas. For example, there's one area in the city, probably the single most popular area. It's a corner of what is it, Pulaski and I think it's Grand and Pulaski here in Chicago. And they all gather there. They all congregate there. Half of them are just busted out, just used up. But yeah, every year there's fresh girls there, and what you can do. Again, I'm going to sort of speak in code, or just.
Now, what do you get them for in Chicago?
Well, I mean, they they go high, you go low, you meet somewhere in the middle. High end, I mean, over 100. Low end, you can get them as little as $20, but they're going to be they're going to be in their 40s. They're going to be drug addicted. They're going to be they're going to be in a hurry. They're going to be in a hurry. But if you can find something in the middle there, and that's I very much go for that. Like these girls in their in their 30s, early 30s, they're still kind of cute, and of course, the first time is very, very awkward. You don't know them. You can't trust them. It's car fun for me never really worked. I don't like it. It's dangerous. It's dumb. It's stupid. I just can't. I can't get into the mood. So I just offer them typically like double for the first time. That's another thing from my experience. They say first impressions are important. For the first time, you wanna overpay them a little bit, and say, yeah, just come back to my place, and make sure your place is all nice. You get there, you take care of business. You tip them. Let's say you pay them double, and then right at the end, you say, yeah, there's no nicer sort of way to say this. You were really nice, and you did a good job, and do you have a phone number, or can I give you my phone number? Is there some way we can, repeat this process?
Well, that's not bad because you're getting. No. I mean, I don't know what they look like, but you're getting women there, like for $100 to $150 for like an hour. That I don't know if they're probably not as good looking as the women in Mexico, but it doesn't sound too horrible.
No. And so again, I'm not bragging, but let me give you my best example. At one time, I think I had 7 girls on what you could call speed dial on any given weekend. You can call, it's Friday night, and I want to finish off my Friday night real nice. You just go down the line. You text them. You text all of them, and the first one that responds, or some of these people have these women have lives too. A lot of them have children. Yeah. They got whatever. Some of them are busy. But one of them typically will be free, and then you work something out. You almost always have to give them a ride. They, these are not like rich women or anything. They're looking for quick,
or get an Uber because if you bring it to your place, I don't know sometimes.
Yes, I have Ubered and lifted. I have Uber and lifted them.
Typically, but your situation is better than Las Vegas, which is very ironic because Las Vegas here is known. People think Sin City, hookers, strip clubs. It's like
Mhm.
here, this is the worst state there is. Chicago, from what you're telling me, sounds 1,000 times better already than this shithole here. I don't know why it is, but even you can. I mean, I see a girl, and I know she's an escort because I know her. I've spoken to her, and she likes that type of music, but she doesn't say it. I know it because I saw her. I looked her up, but she's in her early 50s. She looks great, but I mean, this woman charging you $400, a woman in her early 50s.
Right.
And I said,
Wow.
this is insane.
Wow.
This is insane. I said, oh, F this. No,
Right.
I mean, again, if I were to be a multimillionaire and an extra 100 here, an extra 100 there was nothing to me, then I wouldn't care. But I'm
Right.
not there yet, so I'm very cost conscious, and
No,
in a way,
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, finish Mgtow Cowboy. I didn't want to cut you off. Keep going.
Okay, yeah, okay. So again, just to talk more about the process, another thing worth mentioning, I wanted to mention was it's hard, if you will, it's difficult, if you will, at first, because you do have to pound the pavement. You have to get out there, and there are
Mhm.
associated problems, wear and tear in your car, the time, the gas, and all this. Of course, there's the
Right.
ever-present possibility of the patrol, the police. Okay,
Right.
all those factors aside, it does pay off once you hit pay dirt, let's say. So let's say you meet a girl, you have an experience, and then you make that valuable connection where somehow, some way she gets your number, or somehow, some way you get her number. I've even done it through email before, but typically the phone is the best way to do it. And then
Right.
the beautiful part is these girls will actually get you other girls. Say
Yes.
and tell them straight, hey, listen, you know what? I will give you an extra $50 if you find me another contact, and they'll do it. They'll
See,
do it, and the
that's,
next thing you know,
Right.
you got a little black book with 5, 6, 7 girls, and you're
yeah,
living
your
this low stress
situation
lifestyle.
is a little
Right.
better because out here, I don't know if you saw the videos. If you ever seen the streetwalkers out here in Las Vegas,
Yeah,
it
they
is
look horrible, bro.
it,
They were
it is.
terrible,
Oh
dog.
my God! Not only are they horrible looking, they got personalities to match it. And I mean,
Sure.
these women, it's so horrible. I can't describe how bad it is because, like I said, it's funny. People would think that out here it would be like, a situation like Mgtow Cowboys where you could go down even there and, find some. Oh, forget it. Forget it. That's why I said I have to go to Tijuana because I've been on the sites here. You can use the sites like Erotic Monkey and Private Delights and everything, but you're going to
Mhm.
find the same shit.
Right. And so, question for you, Mgtow Cowboy: have you thought about, like, I know you're in the trucking industry. How often do you get days off or months off? Because I have a good friend. He's
Yeah.
actually a trucker too, and he gets 3 months off every year, and he goes to Colombia and he whore maxes like
Sure.
no other. He gets the girls, whore maxer. If you're listening, he
Yeah.
gets the girls in Colombia for about $8 to $10.
Oh, and they're very good looking too, which is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to get into it, I've seen reports. Okay, so I have a couple things to say on that. Okay, first off, right
Mhm.
now I'm not in the trucking industry. Of course, I still have my
Oh,
medical card. Of course, I still have my CDL. But I'm actually
mhm,
working here back in the city in a non-trucking job. Um,
mhm,
but I've worked before in trucking. My first job was like almost 4 years. And of course, I'm probably going to I will probably be getting back into it very, very soon. And my first job was local, but I've also done some over the road. Um, so my understanding of that is so to answer your first question, your question is, you're talking about scheduling for trucking, working
Well,
6 months and
well,
then
well.
taking
I,
6
I
months off.
guess, I guess now, just does your career, whatever it is, because I always thought you were in the trucking industry. Does it allow you to have time off? And if you have the time off, will you be willing to travel to kind of experience women in a foreign country?
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, absolutely. So how I guess I would answer that this way. Trucking is a very flexible type of job. Again, when I first started, I was totally local. So of course it would make sense, I was picking up girls here in Chicago, right? But let's say when and if I get back into it's called OTR, over the road trucking.
Mhm,
Most typically, the most common version of that is where you work 3 weeks and then you're off for a week. So it's 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off.
mhm,
However, a lot of trucking companies, they've taken to because of popular demand, truckers will work 1 week or 5 days, and then they have 2 days off. That's called regional. But yes, like you said, and I've met these gentlemen as I've met men, for example, truckers from Mexico. They'll come up here and truck hardcore for 6 months straight, like literally, like they don't really take any breaks. They might take 1 day off every 20 or 30 days, and they truck like hell. And then the next 6 months, the second half of the year, they're just not working. They just go back home, and they've made so much money they can just take 6 months off. Yes, of course. I have a friend. He's a trucker. I think he used to work with UPS. I think he's working somewhere else now. But he has an amazing story that unfortunately ended poorly. He would do that, where he would work his ass off for months and months, and then he would just take a month off. He would just take 2 months off at a time. And yes, he would go all the way to Angeles, the Philippines, Angeles City, Luzon, whatever, Cebu. He would tell me he ended up meeting this woman. Her name was Floor. He married her. Of course, he made the dumb decision. He brought her back here. After 2 years, she filed for divorce on him. She gets to stay here. He had to pay her out money and all this. But no, I mean, if you guys really want to take it to the highest level, I have a friend. He's told me, man, the Philippines, you can get like 20, you can get 18, 19, 20-year-old girls for 30, 40 bucks. The hottest girl, the hot young girls for all night for 60 bucks.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Philippines is definitely the way to go. I just, for me, it would be like a 25 hour flight to get out there.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, QB flexing, you were asking me like, what about international travel? What about this? Yes, of course. That's my ultimate goal, is to experience some of that. Taken to its highest, taken to its zenith. Yes. We're talking about like Pattaya in Thailand, Luzon, in the Philippines. Yes, I mean, it's out there. It's all out there. I'm hearing though that there are even hidden gems, like what is it? What's his name? Both of you are bringing it up. Zona Norte in Tijuana.
The
Dominican Republic now.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's all over. It's all over. It's just how high.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I was going to say,
go ahead.
I don't understand. Maybe it's because it's still, I guess maybe it is still somewhat under, or it's considered taboo, or it's still kind of under the radar, why more men are not doing this, because you see what the states look like for the most part.
Right.
And, you start getting to your man. I said, okay, well, you say, okay, what my experience is maybe is not what the next guy is and whatnot. But I mean, you hear the guys complaining about this in many different spheres or whatnot. And I said, well, you have to be, I mean, if you like that, you have to be a little insane not to do it. I can't hide from it and say, oh, I'm going to keep trying and try to get the perfect, or the 2 escorts for a decent price out here and find the good ones. It's just not happening. And I said, even on that.
Yeah, no, that is very true on that. And that's part of the reason why I go after the dating coaches, because it's like, look, this whole game and gesture maxing, it only works for certain dudes, okay? And that's literally, that women find these guys attractive, and as long as they're not socially awkward, the women will be willing to have sex with them. But when you have the passport, okay, you can do that as well. And if it doesn't go good for you that night, you always have the option for pay to play.
Sure. And that's the truth.
Absolutely.
That's the true abundance
mindset. And so the point is, essentially, that the three of us have discovered what I would consider a higher level of whatever you want to call it, getting sex. Okay. I see it this way: men in America, most men in America, they're totally brainwashed. They will still date. They will, but they don't understand. Like, we call it gesture maxing all the time. What I'm trying to say is, for what you get, which is, you get that sex, the amount of effort, resources, time, money spent, courting these women, it's just not worth it. Once you discover one, so I do it, let's say on a low level, I get these street girls, QB Flexen is talking about, flying halfway around the world, Hormaxer, I guess you go to Tijuana, there's all levels of it. But
Yeah,
the point
well, I
is,
will be. It's the
this
closest
represents
one.
it. I'm sorry.
It's the closest one, Tijuana. So
Right.
Right,
Well,
right. And for you, if I remember from your videos, it's still like what, 4 hours away? It's like four and
yeah,
a
if
half
you
hours away
drive,
by car.
yeah, if you drive, yeah.
Right. Well, to me, Hormaxer, if the experience goes good in Tijuana, like, bro, I'm telling you, you don't need to live in Las Vegas anymore. If you don't have any type of ties to Vegas, and like I said, I'm not trying to get in your personal life or anything like that, but if you can like live remote or live somewhere else, I highly recommend it, man.
It's probably true. There's probably, like you said, like you said, there's a truth to that. I said, I don't know if you're familiar. There's another guy. He does mostly in Tijuana. I think he's in Colombia now or somewhere. His name is Luke Powell.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and he goes that he's in Tijuana. He's like an oil field guy, and he's always down there banging broads, having a good time too. He's living life.
Right.
I said, hey, that's good. This guy's living life, and he's doing that.
Sure. Again, just to reiterate what I was saying though, like I don't know how else to say this. I almost feel like I live my life. I people at work, people in my community. I meet all these men. I sort of feel like they're in like like they're in a haze.
They are, because they are. They really are.
Okay. Okay. For example, this is anecdotal. Okay, let me give you one example. This one young man at my work. I've been trying to show him the light. He's 26 years old. His parents are married. He lives with his parents. He lives in a very, very nice North Shore suburb of Chicago. His mom is a lawyer. His father's like, I don't know, in the orchestra or something. Whatever. They're very well-to-do, very educated, but he's a very underachiever. He's a lard ass. So you think I'm overweight? It's even worse. He's probably my weight, but like 2 inches shorter. He's like 5'8". And he incessantly talks about basketball. He loves watching basketball while we're at work. And I'm trying to explain to him, like, this is a false sense of masculinity. You should get into working out.
Yeah, playing basketball.
You should get into. You should get. Yeah. I'm sorry.
And playing basketball, at least, instead of watching.
Right.
Go get your ass up there. Yeah.
Right, participating in the sport, not spectating.
Exactly.
And
I agree with that.
Sport. Yeah. Spectating sports is false masculinity. Actually doing it is something better, something different.
It's funny you mentioned that because I wasn't too either. Like, I figured I'm going to try some of these sports bars, right? And I went there. These places, they have a few of them out there. They're called the Stills. And I went in there, and I'm looking at these men, especially the men. There weren't really a lot. There wasn't any women to really, start up with or anything, whatever you want, the gesturing. But I'm looking at the men there, and they're, all from their 20s all the way to and older, and they're looking at the goddamn sports screen and drinking, just staring, glaring, and drinking, and they're out of shape. And I'm just saying, when I'm thinking to myself, I said, why don't you just put a rope around your neck now? Because you're already dead. You're already dead. You're watching multimillionaires play sports. You're cheering on like you got something out of it or helping something. And, and you're sitting here and, okay, I have a few drinks too. It's not that, but you're drinking here and you're just watching these people. There's nothing, because if I go to a bar.
Well, that's technically your buddy, Mr. Oofy Doofy, Red Pill Right,
He's not really my buddy, but he's on my channel. So there is some of that. I believe that is true to a certain extent.
I don't want to cut you off on that, but this is what I have to say about a guy like him. This whole Oofy Doofy, and I'll probably make a video on it. Jeff Bezos basically kills the whole Oofy Doofy narrative. He has money and status, but he's the richest guy or one of the richest guys in the world, and he still can't be with a decent looking chick. Period.
Yeah, but he has. It's not real. I think Jeff Bezos, those guys are a little autistic. But I'll give you an example why I think it's a little true. But I think it's a control factor. If you take a guy that's much more handsome than the woman, I mean, much more. I think that women don't like to have that out of their control. I think women are much more insecure in a lot of ways than men. They don't. It's maybe not said as much in society. Because I had a woman told me at the one time I had a one night stand was from Bumble, and this woman told me, and she wasn't a great looking woman, but what she told me, she wanted a relationship, but she wanted a relationship with a goofball type of guy. And I'm thinking, I said, Jesus, this is kind of strange. I said, you want like a big, soft faced, doughy guy. And I said, well, that sounds like a control factor to me. Somebody that can be more controlled easily. I may not be like a Chad or a male model, but I'm not easily controllable. And these women.
But the thing is, real quick, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
Because you told that story, and I remember it, verbatim, pretty much. She was over 40 plus, so
right.
When women have been banged out and they reach past their peak, then yeah, they want a oofy doofy beta bucks dude. But women in their prime, between 18 and I'll even go all the way to 27, they don't want no oofy doofy dude, man. They want Chad or Tyrone Light. Period.
Yeah, that could also be the ages. The only reason why I said there's some truth to that is because when I'm going out, because I'm out now every weekend, and I make sure I do like whatever it is. I'm not going to do the strip club as much because that's too expensive and I can't take it, honestly. And I admit I have no self-control when it comes to that. Some guys can go into a strip club and just drink and throw some singles around and tip them on the stage. When I see that ass, I want it because I'm on testosterone. And see, that's why I advocate this for men. This is very important. See, a lot of guys, especially in this Western society here, they don't understand. They think that the testosterone has been made because when they talk about women it's fine. You got your birth control, which is estrogen. You go, here's more birth control. Go into there's not a bleep of an eye. But when you hear a guy, let's say he's not even doing it for health reasons. Let's say he just wants to get jacked. He wants to have a body like an Adonis, and he wants to do steroid cycles. Well, the shitload that you will get from general practitioners and most of these other people, whatever you want to call them, blue pillars or whatnot, is laughable. These people don't have a fucking clue. They still don't, and they probably never will. That's why I said, even you're 37. You like to go out, right? You like to have a good time.
Yeah.
You like to screw beautiful women. Listen, your testosterone, I don't care how healthy you are, will fall. And there's no reason to let it go that way. You can have still the sex drive. And I'm not telling this to brag, but I have a sex drive of a 20-year-old. Now, granted, I take some additional compounds that probably elevate that even more. But even if with that, I said, you have to be, and I literally mean this. You have to be insane not to do it, especially past a certain age.
Well, and here's kind of my intake on that, or basically response to that. It may work for you. I look at it as, look, as you get older, as you age, yes, your testosterone levels decrease, but you have to start eating healthier. You have to make it.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. I'll tell you why. I know this for a fact.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on, Hormaxer. Everyone's body is different. Like for me, I rather not have all that bulk and all that muscle.
You're
it's
not
more
going to get that way from just TRT. That's a misconception. I got to tell you right now, and I have a big problem with it. But let me tell you what the problem is. People think if they go on TRT or steroids, let's forget TRT for a minute, because that's a level from 100 milligrams to 200 milligrams. Testosterone replacement therapy goes from 100 to 200. Okay, you could take you and me, unless you're in the top 2% of genetics, you can get juiced up to the hilt and you are not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. See, you have the misconception in your head, and I can tell how you're talking that you have this. And it's not your fault. It's just kind of a brainwashed mentality, which has infected all of society. It's that if you took, for instance, let's say you said at the age of 40, you decide, let's say you want to go on testosterone, but you said, oh, I'm going to get bulky. I'm going to get too much muscle. That will not happen. People think that, but that is not the reality of the situation.
Well, right. I know if I, do a lot of cardio,
and I would do it with you're a tall dude at 6'4". Why wouldn't? Let me ask you a question, QB. You're a 6'4" dude. You could be, why, especially as you get into your late 30s, early 40s, why wouldn't you want to just look jacked, to look, I mean, you don't have to be bodybuilders, you know, go to that extent, but just to be jacked. I mean, that no matter what you think, that you get more respect from people. You will, believe it or not, even have more confidence. And I don't understand what men have this thing that they think they're going to become this monster or whatnot. And I said, it's just not true.
Right. For me, to be honest with you, Hormaxer, it's kind of like, man, I really don't want to shoot something in my body like that.
But
That's just,
testosterone is natural. That is belongs in your body. That is an element of masculinity. I don't understand what people believe when it comes to this.
Okay. If I can interrupt both of you just for a second.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
Hormaxer, can you talk about that for a second? Just again, out of pure curiosity.
Yeah.
What's the first step? So
I want to know the
Let's
negatives.
say
Okay, I'll give you the negatives. All right.
We're a nurse.
All right. Let me just
Hold on. Let him
let's
give
say-
the
let's say you
negatives
were-
first. Let him give him the negatives first, Mgtow Cowboy, and then he can answer your question really quick.
All right. Well, here, let's go. Okay, you want to know negatives. All right. On
Right.
TRT, I really didn't have any negatives per se. I only got what you would call a negative when I decided to up the dose on myself, going to underground labs. What that would be is you will become, I don't get roid rage, but you will become more aggressive. I believe there's no doubts that, but I'm talking at higher doses now, not TRT. So you have to put the two. Now, when I went higher and I got on Trenbolone and higher doses of testosterone, I got not bad, but I did get a little cystic acne on my shoulders. It wasn't bad. It's there, but it's not like horrible, you know. So, and the only other, like I said, when you have multiple compounds going, not TRT, but it can happen on TRT, but sometimes it can elevate blood pressure. The remedy to that is just to take a small, low dose blood pressure pill. It's not a big deal. In fact, I advocate, especially past a certain age, if you have elevated blood pressure, to take that regardless. I think it's very healthy for the blood flow, along with the low dose Cialis. A lot of people think Cialis is just to get your dick hard and, you know, the screw, but it's one of the best NO producers, nitric oxide producers, that you can take, okay, along with citrulline, which is more naturals from watermelon. And then you have, you know, your more, what you say, synthetic, which is like, you know, Viagra, but low dose, not high dose. Like you want to go screw all night. That's a little different. So the negatives for me were that, I guess you could say a negative is that when you do take synthetic testosterone, you will shut off your natural production. And men get scared about that. They say, oh my God, what's going to happen to my balls? Are they going to shrink? You know, if I take this? Well, no, what you do is, and it's like an insulin pin. You take a little HCG or gonadorelin, and once or twice a week, and it takes all of about 5 minutes to do, and you don't have that problem. Your luteinizing hormone stays online. Your natural production stays online, and that's why I said I don't. There are some guys that do that. I don't advocate for that. They don't take that. I say no. You want to keep that online, no matter what your age, even if you don't plan on having kids. You know, but it's just a more.
And then I heard, does your balls shrink or your dick?
Only. Oh no. Your penis does not shrink. It is if you take long doses, and it's generally for bodybuilders. Don't forget, a bodybuilder is going to be taking just on testosterone 500 milligrams plus a week. Okay, but if they take gonadorelin or HCG, and that's what I'm talking about, at a small amount twice a week, you don't have that problem. It's a very easy thing, especially today. There is no problem.
Right. And it's a needle that you have to inject in your buttocks, correct?
Yeah, I do my quad, I do my ass cheek. I don't like to do my delts because that, even though I switched to a smaller needle, sometimes it hits in there. I'm just sensitive in that area. But you don't feel a damn thing, you know? I mean, I guess a guy that has a needle phobia would have a big problem, but I tell men, I said, no, get over that. I had the same thing. I don't want to touch a needle. What is this? Because it seems so foreign. And I agree. I know what you're probably, oh, this is foreign and whatnot. Once you get over that, you'll never believe that you the only problem you'll have is that you didn't start it earlier.
Okay, all right. That's a
go ahead, Mgtow Cowboy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Cowboy.
So imagine, Hormaxer, you are a doctor or a nurse practitioner, and you're talking to me, and you, based on all the knowledge that you have, and obviously you have some, how would you recommend that someone like me, in fact, if you want, yeah, pretend you're or not pretending, you tell me how do you think I should introduce just okay. Another question. I should preface all this by saying, what the hell's the difference between anabolic steroids and just TRT? Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, that's another thing. It's kind of the same thing. It's just the dosage. What I advise when I tell a man, I says, you never want to go in though. Once you're going to go for TRT, you never want to have something below 150 milligrams a week because you will be shutting down your natural production. It's a lifetime commitment, okay? So you don't want to be coming on and go, with that, you don't have to. Now, being that I mean, that's what I want you to do because I like you and you're a nice guy, Cowboys, that you want to lose the weight and you want to get healthy. And what I would tell somebody like you is forget the other compounds. Don't worry about those right now. What I advise you is that either if you have medical insurance, because it will cover that, you will first want to just have your blood drawn and see where your levels are. Here's the problem. Most general practitioners, if they see a level above 300 or 400 nanograms, they're not going to write for it because they have a backwards, outdated mentality. It's kind of like they're stuck in about 1995 and they won't update. Some do, but most don't. So on that case, if let's say your level, but like I tell you, right now you want to get into exercise, you have you're close to 300 pounds, is that you can take it. Start. You don't need to go over 200 milligrams to start because you do want to see how your body reacts. There is you just don't start ejecting, a gram of testosterone. That's insane. But anywhere from 150 to 200 milligrams. And I advise men, listen, I said, if you're general practitioner or if you're having problems, but see, you won't have to, let's say you want to do it legally. Let's say I do both because I know how really silly it really is when you break it down.
Okay, that's another quick fire question for you. How much does this cost? $1,000 a year,
Right.
$2,000 a year,
legally,
$4,000 a year?
when you go through the states here, this is the problem. The same testosterone, and I only keep it because I always have an auxiliary backup in case something goes wrong with an underground labs or they shut down those sites for a period of time because I don't want to be without. But that being said, you can get, and it's all the same. People think, oh my God, the underground labs, who is this, some maniac mixing this in his bathtub? No, you got to understand, a lot of these are people that have big businesses. Some of them are, I don't know, maybe some of them are connected, if they come, I used to get a source in Ukraine, but I changed. But if for instance, let's say they sold bunk gear on the underground lab, bunk testosterone or not good testosterone.
I know what you're going to say. I already know what you're going to say. There's going to be a ripple effect.
It's going to go right. It's going to go all over the bodybuilding forums, and these guys take it seriously. Believe me, they don't want that.
So you're saying because of the profit motive, there is in fact a motive to keep the product good and pure and high quality and safe.
In a lot of ways, I think it's greater because these people, that is their livelihood. Okay, I don't care.
Yeah, and I do appreciate it.
Whatever they are.
But again, right now, there's only 25 people in the chat. But within 1 week, assume somewhere between 200 and 400 people are going to watch this. So I'm serious. By the time I'm 40, I'm going to try TRT. In fact, maybe even sooner. I don't know.
I would tell you something. I said, what are you waiting for? The magical 40 number? Yeah. I said,
that's what I'm telling you about Tijuana, Hormaxer.
But I'm going in July. I'm not waiting. I am going July. I spent so much goddamn. I like to kick myself in my own ass because I spent money and time on things because I was new and naive to a lot of it, and I admit to that. And I said, but no, man, I said they should. If they want to do your thing, I said I'm not against it. If you know the areas and you want to take them on tours and do that, that's your thing. You should do that. But also, all men, they need to get the hell out of this shithole. They need to get the hell away from this type of thought process that you have to go out. And I don't mind that. But I said, listen, I mean, like I told you, I said, I went to, it was a nice restaurant and I take this, and she was, I mean, I would think, I was like, oh, this is going to be wonderful. I'm going to get the friend with benefits here. And at the end of the night, she told me she after me basically almost screwing her on the table, told me she wants to be courted. I said, "Oh my God, another insanity case! I need to get out of here." You know?
Right. Well, no. What I realize, Hormax or Mgtow Cowboy is a lot of men. They think Mexico is very dangerous, and
Oh no,
w-
compared to shit.
when you cross the border, like literally, guys, that I've talked to, after them watching my channel, looking at the videos, they're like, "So when I cross the border, are the cartels gonna cut my head off?" And I'm like, "No."
That's what they think. Yeah. Unfortunately, know what that's like? It's kind of
Hmm.
like with the steroids and with testosterone. Unfortunately.
Right,
I don't mean
right.
to
There's
hype, but
this common perception that the
exactly.
second you cross over,
you
you're
have
going to
more
have these Mexicans watching you cross, and they're
right.
going to
You have
get you,
more of
and
a
they're going to make
problem.
you a mule. And no.
Yeah, you have more of a problem if you go into the inner city in Chicago than you'll ever have in Tijuana.
Sure,
Right.
sure. I'd second that.
And so I tell guys, for the first time, there is a lot of things that you do need to, be aware of, because, there's certain hotels where you can't bring, girls to your place. And then there's also hotels where
Well, have you ever been to one called Adelita's?
I've been to all of them. I've been to Adelita's. I've been to Hong Kong, which is the best one.
Now,
Chicago
why do you
Club.
like that over like Adelita's?
Hong Kong, I'm telling you, bro, it is nothing but eights, 8.5 to nines in
This
that
is
place, man.
paradise. That is
Right.
paradise.
It's 3 levels of madness, Hormaxer, and you're getting shows, girl and girl action, girl and girls, doing the whole bikini contest, whipped cream, you name it. And
That's paradise.
any girl you like. So I don't know what's your type, like physical wise, but I'm more of I kind of like the athletic volleyball type body,
Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
right? And kind of more of like, an athletic build, like a lot of girls, a lot of guys think, oh, well, you're a black dude, you like thicker women. Thickness is good. I do like thickness, but my
Yeah.
preference is an athletic volleyball type girl. And if she's a
You don't
little
like you don't
taller,
like the big booty. You don't like the big booty girls.
I mean, big booty is great. There's pros and cons to it. Like, it is a lot of work when you're smashing it,
Yeah. When you get into
but
that BBW territory, I can't take it. I just
right. Definitely not BBW, but believe it or not, like a lot of girls that are like kind of on the thick level, like they can't take the D, I'm just like, what?
I've heard
So
you say that
well,
the bigger, and it's sort of counterintuitive. The bigger girls, they
right,
seem to have a hard time taking it. It hurts. These
right.
skinny girls can take it, all the way.
Yes. Yes.
yeah, some of
Yes.
that's true.
Hmm. So if you like redhead, if you like, blondes, brunettes, they have all types, and the quality is just, it's like going to Mastro's Steakhouse, basically. Like you're gonna get a quality meal for the price that you're gonna pay for. Period. You know.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. I do. The more you think about it, and the more I think, I said, what am I going to do? I said, let's say, I went and you say, okay, will that work with women? Like you said, being two. I said, well, if I'm not up front, I said, I don't want to be going to, restaurants and, and doing
Hmm.
all this and getting nothing. I said, listen, I said, if I'm buying eggs and having that, I said, okay, you don't want, that's fine. You don't have to come back with me. You don't have to do anything with me. But I said, after that, I said, no, I mean, it's Tijuana or bust.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, you have about a good 6 to 7 places for women that you can select.
Yeah. Now I have a good question. I got a good
Mhm.
question for you, Cowboy. Is that I see the problem here, as you know, because you got this OnlyFans shit here, and you got so many of these. I said, how long is it before that simps start to invade Tijuana and start driving the prices up?
I hear that's already a problem in some of these places that are gems, like the Dominican
Oh,
Republic or in Thailand. I hear that's becoming a problem. 20 years ago, you'd meet these girls and they would do anything you want for $20. Now some of them they're getting real demanding, and they'll pull out a clock or something. Yes, right.
Right.
That's a growing problem.
Oh God, not the clock.
Right. So
I mean,
Hornmaster.
I don't mean literally. I don't mean literally to pull out a clock, but like in the past, it was very not blasé, very just they're not watching out for time. When now, yes, a lot of them they very much have commercialized it. They're like, yeah, they'll say for 1 hour it's this much. When in the past it wasn't like that. But yes, basically they're becoming more money hungry.
Right. So Hornmaxer, to answer your question, there's other places in Mexico beyond Tijuana where I know guys don't go, and I can pay when I want to pay at any given moment, and I don't have to really worry about that issue.
Right.
But
Better.
right. But here's the thing: it's only certain types of men. Like, for example, I'll be honest with you. There are a lot of black men that are complaining that, you have Pookie, Ray Ray, and Thuggo driving up the prices out there in Medellin, Colombia. Well, I don't go out there. You know what I mean? I don't go out to the DR. In Tijuana, you may have, the the ink cell simp that, girls have told me, yeah, it is so bad with some of these dudes. One pro told me in Tijuana, I had this Asian guy that would pay me $500 just to talk to him for an hour.
Lord. Oh my
No
God.
sex.
Right.
Yeah,
just quickly, if I may, just because you brought it up, there's a girl I know. She's a regular. She told me a story, something just like that. Some guy paid her like $200 just to sit naked in the back of his whatever Mercedes or something while he jacks off in the front.
Oh my!
I swear to God, there are people out there. Yeah, no, I can't believe it.
I gotta tell you, Cowboy QB. I said I went to a place out here. It's a famous, but I only went there twice. It's called the Palomino Club. It's a strip club. And I saw a girl there. She reminded me, because unfortunately, one time, I guess you can't help that, I fell in love with an escort. But anyway, to make a long story short, she looked like this escort, but a young version of her. So I just went up to this girl, beautiful, young, 19. I just start talking with her, and I'm sitting there, I'm talking with her, and I said, oh, she says, listen, because I start talking about I want to monger with you. I tell them, but she says, I really don't have to be with men anymore. And I said, oh, really? Why is that? Whatnot? And I said, tell me. And she said, well, I make about $10,000 to $15,000 a month.
Oh, I remember that story.
Just camming. She just cams. I mean, and I said, oh my God. And there, you start realizing, you're saying, especially these younger dudes. I mean, granted, she's attractive, a beautiful woman, but I said, oh my God.
No, I agree. You're
one guy paid her $1,000 just to talk with her.
Yes, I said, oh my God. You're highlighting the level of hopelessness here in the West. I mean, men will literally throw handfuls of cash just to speak with the woman, and we're talking about getting everything we want for basement bargain prices.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So to elaborate a little bit more on that, Hornmaxer, you pay the base price and you tell the girl take it or leave it, and that's that. Now, when you go to like Adelitas, where the girls are not as hot as HK, they go for a cheaper rate. And the same thing with Chicago and Tropical.
Now, isn't that normal though, QB? Isn't that like a normal reality opposed to this? Because, okay, so you said, okay, you go to Hong Kong, you got the top tier women, you got your 8s through your 9s, and then you go, if you want to go to Adelitas, you pay a little less, so you're doing with 6s and 7s. I said, that's normal. But here, I said, I figured if this girl who was, she was a legit, I guess a real 9, but I said, well, she can get that on camming. I said, well, what's the 7 getting? All right, so the 7 is getting $8,000 a month. I said, oh my God.
Right. So again, the logical conclusion is you got to go underground. You got to go, dare I say it, illegal, or you got to go abroad. You got to go abroad to get abroad. I want to read this comment real quick by I don't know, it's some guy something 1917. He says, yes, they're starting to ruin Sosua in the Dominican Republic. I've heard the same thing in the Dominican Republic for years. The Dominican Republic was a hidden gem. And I think over there it's not legal, but it's decriminalized. Basically, they've relaxed the laws, and they know what the tourists come and do.
I think in the DR it is legal, you know, so you
Oh,
you
it's
can
legalized.
definitely yeah, you can definitely
Okay.
go out there and do that. But another thing I do want to mention about Tijuana Horror Max, or
Uh,
um, even when you do pay to play, there is an element of black pill with the women in Mexico, specifically Tijuana, because it's a border town, and you not only have guys that are like you and I, but you have Chad and Tyrone that are going out there too. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They're all guys of what you got the short Asian dude, you got the Arabian guy, you got the overweight, chubby Hispanic dude. Bill,
Hey.
Bob, Tyrone, everybody is going there, okay?
Okay.
So a lot of guys don't know this, and I'm going to be very adamant when I say that. The women are basically getting paid to fuck the guys that they find attractive. I'm going to be
Okay.
honest.
I
So it's not as
So looks maxing, even because see, I even believe, like
Mhm.
we believe, I don't know if you've seen Looks Maximus, but he also believes that if you are going to use a whore, you should be looks max to the best of your ability, not be overweight and be disgusting rings true of what you're saying, is that even with a whore, even though you'll probably
Mhm.
pay less, and you're going to probably have a better time if your
Yes.
looks maxed. If your looks
Yes.
I think
Yes.
he was alluding to the idea that even in a situation like this, we're still competing with these Chads and Tyrones, and if we're going to pay $60, they're only going to pay 30 or something like that.
Well, she would give Chad and Tyrone a different experience. So, for example, there was this super hot girl that wanted me, but I told her look, I already banged out a girl. I'm tired. I have nothing in me.
You need some TRT. See, that's the
R-
problem right there.
Right, but I've literally had a girl that let me film her. She will take photos with me. I said,
That's
look,
nice.
if you want me to pay this price, then you gotta meet me. You gotta let me do this, this, and this, and this. Yeah, sure, no problem. But for example, this other escort outside of the whole brothel strip club thing in Tijuana, for this guy, so this girl let me do the same thing. She let me film her, took selfies, took video, and she was mad cool, no clock watching or nothing.
Right.
And then my friend was like, well, I want the same girl too. And this girl rushed him. She was after he bust a nut, we're done. And it was 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
I've
didn't
had
like
that.
that experience. Right. He didn't like that experience.
No.
Right. He didn't like that experience. And so that's where I tell guys, even when you do the pay to play thing, not every monger is equal, and guys.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's definitely true.
If I may share a very quick story, just because QB Flexen brought it just jogged my memory. True to life story. The prettiest woman probably in my life I've ever banged. I met through another girl, a working girl, and this girl was beautiful. She was also the tallest girl I've ever banged. She was 6'1", I think, 6'1". In fact, the very first time I got with her, I asked her politely to show me her nether regions, I just to make sure that she was a real girl. She was so tall, and she was just beautiful. She was absolutely easy. She was an easy 7, maybe she was in her middle to late 30s. She ended up getting busted and she went to prison. But anyway, the point is, she was really hot, and she knew it, and she charged me more. And the second we were done, it's like, come on, let's go. We gotta go. We gotta hurry up. And that's not that's a buzzkill.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that is for anybody. But I said that can happen. But I said, yeah, but were you in shape when you were with her?
Who, me? No.
Okay. See, now, like you, I don't know what you look like, but I said, all right, even if you're an average to above average looking dude, I mean, if you lose that 80 pounds and you start working out, I said, yeah, for the most part, it may not always be completely, but you're going to have a better experience just in general.
No, I totally agree. Again, no, I used to be almost like a Chad light. I'm sorry to toot my own horn, but yeah, no, I mean,
you're good, man. Here's the thing, Mgtow Cowboy, and I don't mean to cut you off, but kind of
No,
like
it's
how I
okay. Go ahead.
explained, kind of like how I explained to you earlier, Hormaxer. Like I've never been that incel dude. You know, like my ex girlfriend was an ex fitness model. I dated a really really cute girl in college, and this one girl about I would say 3 to 4 years ago, she's half Mexican, half Armenian, like totally gorgeous. Kim Kardashian lookalike. She was willing to have a child with me and
Sure.
not get married. And she made more money than me. She's a
Now,
biochemist. She
do
makes
you
no.
do you have a
Mhm.
good mouthpiece on you though?
No, what she
No.
likes is, well, here's the thing. I'm not socially awkward. Like all these dating coaches will tell you, oh, you need to have game and this and that. I don't believe in game. All I believe is, look, looks matter. Don't be socially awkward, and you have to be able to read a woman's body language. So, like how I mentioned when I went to that nightclub and you see the girls in the table section, I was able in that section to look at the girls on the dance floor,
Yeah.
and based on the body language, I can tell
You
she
can
was
tell if they're
already.
into you. Yeah.
Exactly. And it was
Yeah.
this
Absolutely.
point the finger, come over here, like a quarterback reading a defense. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
open. You're open. You're open. I'm going to hit you,
Sure.
and you.
I'm sorry. What did you mean? What did you mean, Hormaxer, when you said, "Do you have a mouth on you?" Like,
What
is
I
he
meant
silver
is you
tongued?
have
Is
a
it the
not
gift of
so
gab?
much I gain, but it does help if you can be like, well, it helps not socially awkward. You know how to speak, you know how to be somewhat funny, because a guy that's just gonna sit there, I mean, some would argue, say, oh, if the guy's like just, like a male model, it doesn't matter. And maybe that is true. But I said, if you're just gonna sit there and be socially awkward, especially in a bar setting or a nightclub setting, that ain't gonna cut it.
It's
Oh, I
not.
see
But
what you're saying. Okay.
you
Okay. So be extroverted. Gotcha.
right. And to
Yeah.
add a little bit on this more, Mgtow Cowboy, really quick, is when you go out with guys that are decent, attractive, that makes your job even a whole lot easier. Because I had friends that went out with me and I was having all the fun and they were just there, just staring and watching, you know? Whereas other
Sure.
guys that I went out with, I'm like, okay, I know this guy has fucked a lot of girls, so yo, you telling me you going to this club? Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there because I know when I show up with this dude, I know something's gonna happen because I know, okay, he's 6'5" or 6'6", I'm 6'4". We're gonna be the tallest dudes in the club, and we're gonna end up
Oh
hooking up with
yeah.
some
Oh
type
yeah.
of chick
Oh yeah.
automatically.
That's another thing worth mentioning. And this is advice I would offer to Hormaxer. Of course, you QB Flexin. This really does not apply to you. Yeah, I purposely wear boots. Again, I'm 5'10". I used to be like 5'11", 5'10" and a half. Now I'm a solid 5'10". I purposely wear boots like Timberlands, and I really do think it makes a difference. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
no,
right, we
no.
all agree.
Height is the thing, people don't think, but yeah,
Girls, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's true. But it also it's like a lot of things like a MGTOW. That's why I said I have a lot of problems with it. Maybe not you because you want to get in shape and you want to do, but a lot of these guys are like saying, "I like being a virgin. I want to remain a virgin." These guys are lying to themselves.
Yeah,
And
no, I agree with that.
I said,
I
"Fuck all that."
completely
I
agree
said,
with you.
"It's life denial, is what it is. It's
No,
just
I completely agree with you. I think, especially young men, 20, 22, 24, 26, men should be at that age. It's perfectly normal. Men should be boinking
yeah,
regularly. If you're not, I think mental illness can set in.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah."
to finish that point, QB flexing, you're 6'4". I'm sure. I mean, there have been many social situations that you found yourself in where you're like almost always the tall guy. No one ever wants to be the short guy. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, and to add on this a little bit more, um, what I was trying to get at when you gesture max, for whatever reason, I really don't like that term, but when you try
Right.
to, we call it, we basically
That's just
just call
regular
it
dating.
yeah, we call it PUA, but when you go PUA mode, and I'm not talking as you know needing game because I don't believe in game, but when you try to pick up women, it also helps when you're with another like good, basically wingman. But I've been in situations to where I shown up to the bars or clubs by myself in Mexico, and the girls are giving me shots and
Oh,
drinks, and
that's
come.
paradise. That's paradise. See, that's what you're
That's
describing.
paradise.
Is the way it should be, kind of technically, I guess, in some ways, depending how you're looking at biologically. But I said, "What is this?" I said, "Okay." I said, "That's why I said, like I said, I said a guy like you. I said, like I said, you're 6'4". I says, just between the weight loss and what I said, I advocate tremendously for men to become, okay, maybe not because bodybuilding is different, it's a niche community, but at least somewhat swole or jacked, because that not overly, because that can become unattractive too.
Right.
But like these
Right.
guys, a lot Mgtow and some of these other black pill channels, they want to sit there and rot and get this. And I said, listen, I could do that. I'm 44. Okay, I'm not a young spring chicken. I said, no. I said, there is no need for me to do that. We have the technology, we have the knowledge, we have the medicine. We are smarter than women. And I said, I am not going to sit here. Now, the problem here with a lot of these Americans, and I think it's true, and it's not a cope. I think a lot of these women, no matter what your age, especially as you get a little older and you're seeing women in your age demographic, I think they are intimidated by a man in their age demographic that is looking better and physically better than them. And I still believe that. I believe women are highly insecure, more than what society even tells you.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
duly noted. I agree. Hormaxer, do you do anything? Just out of curiosity, pure curiosity, do you wear like step ups or boots or anything
No,
like
but
that?
I probably should, because I'm not a tall guy.
Yeah.
I am 5'8". I mean, I'm not like
Right,
I'm not a
right.
midget.
I'm
I'm
very
not a
cognizant.
midget, but it's not like tall. I guess it would help.
No.
Like, if I
Five
wore a
eight.
boot, if I wore a boot, like I said, like even a half boot, I could probably push that to 5'10", which you're probably
Right.
correct.
No. Right.
It's
Just
not a
to
matter
address
of
that.
pandering. It's not a matter of pandering. It's just a reality, and it's true. You have to come to the fact of certain reality. If I put on, and I said, if I go 2 inches taller, even though it's not huge at 5'10", yeah, it's going to become, and I may do that just to test the waters to see what that does.
I would recommend that. So what I was going to say is,
if I'm going to do that, I'm going to go to Amazon and get like at least a half boot. Something that looks nice.
what I was going to say is
go ahead, Mitch.
or just to finish that thought very quickly, because a couple minutes ago I was saying, like at one time I was in really good shape, but even then I would not consider myself a Chad. I was more like a Chad light, because in my opinion, in order to even be in the what would you guys call it? In order to even be considered a Chad, you probably have to be at least 6 feet tall. So, but anyway, what I was going to say is, yeah, I mean, you're 5'8". 5'8's the average. That's fine, but wouldn't you want to be above average? And like,
yeah,
I think as a
I agree with you. I'm agreeing. In fact, I'm going to do. Not only will I do that tonight, it's the same thing like with the body. I said, here you are. I said, like I say, okay, you're 5'10", QB is 6'4", and I said we're getting older, but I said when you have the modern technology and medicine. And the knowledge, like I said, the knowledge now is there. I said, why wouldn't you make your body? And granted, I could even do work at my age, and I've laxed in certain areas. But I said, why wouldn't you want to do it at least? Why wouldn't you want? And it's self-confidence. People will treat you even differently. You ever see how people treat when you're fat and obese compared to when you're like,
they treat you like shit. They treat you like shit. Listen, here's another quick story, true to life story. When I very, very first started out in trucking, this is like 5 years ago now. I did go on a diet and I lost a considerable amount of weight. I have this history of like, I'll go on the Atkins diet, I'll lose like 50 pounds and then I'll fall off and then I'll gain back the weight in like a year and a half. That's basically what happened. I had gotten down to like 245 pounds, and I'm telling you, I absolutely noticed it. Just getting in line at the cashier at the superstore, at the supermarket, the girl, starts.
I'm gonna tell you another thing. Let me tell you, Cowboy, is that you can be natural. I don't know what you look like, but it sounds like you may be an endomorph naturally. Like I'm an ectomorph, like naturally a thin guy. But see, a guy like you, for instance, I don't know. I've never seen like QB, like a younger picture. You may be more an ectomorph, but an endomorph is somebody that will tend to put on fat a lot easier. But also an endomorph, which you have an advantage when they lose weight and they decide to muscle build and build up, they do it very effectively and very efficiently, and generally can be a lot bigger muscly or muscle wise than a guy like me. They do have an advantage. See, there's advantage to different body types.
Yeah, right.
No.
And I kind of say that when it comes to body types, because here's the thing, you know, a lot of these black pillars, specifically Wheat Waffles, he wants to, you know,
Oh,
judge men strictly on face ratings. And to me, it's, you know, your face, your height, and your body tone. But one can make the argument, okay, if you have height, but if you know you're not decent looking in the face and you're overweight, you're not going to be able to attract women, you know.
right. But
Or
even
you
you,
can have an average face, tall, and you know, have an okay face, you know, decent build. Women will find that attractive, maybe compared to a guy that is a Chad or Tyrone, but he's under 6 feet. You know.
right,
Sure.
definitely. I said I would, like I said, at 6'4", I says you can come in. I says, you know, especially to other dudes. I mean, I don't look at it that way because I find when I see another dude jacked up, I said, oh, what is this guy? You know, I'm thinking in my mind, what is this dude taking? What is his cycle? Because I can tell now because I did that. But I said 6'4". I want to be intimidating. I want to walk into that room. You know, I said that is a matter of just having. It breeds a different confidence, and people can say, "Oh, be yourself." Fuck all that shit. You know, if you want to be yourself, everybody can just become a nice big fat ass and just do their own thing. That's what you will get.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
you'll get.
Let me say this. This is basically me agreeing with you, Hormaxer. Okay, so I do wear boots. I wear Timberlands. I'm 5'10", right? With the boots, I'm like 6 feet tall. I also wear a cowboy hat almost every day when I'm not working. Yeah. Okay. When it has happened more than once, it's happened several times where I'll walk into a room and let's say a woman is not facing me, or a man, especially a diminutive man, and they'll look over and I can visibly see in their body language that they're startled by my presence, and I'm
Uh-huh.
very wide, I'm very broad.
Yeah, like I
Yes,
said,
no,
somebody like you, if you work that, because what you're describing to me is definitely like an endomorph. I can't see you, but that what you're describing, see, somebody like you lost a lot of that body fat they have on you, which you
I
need
know.
to, and I know that. And if you worked out, yeah, and I don't think, you know, it may be a lot harder because we're in the States and it is what it is. That's why we're discussing Tijuana and all these other places, because it kind of knows what the situation is. But your chances, I mean, if you're built on that and you're built like a fucking brick shit house and solid, of course, women are going to be more attracted to that. No person
Sure, sure.
is
No,
going to
yeah, no,
tell
I'm a
me
big boy,
otherwise.
but at the same time, you know, like I'll just to reiterate, I can never be QB flexing a 6'4". I can never be a Chad, right? But I can be a Chad light, you know. So, but
Right.
anyway,
Right.
yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry to cut you guys off. I'm sort of I think it's about time to end the stream. If you guys have any closing comments, 2 minutes to each of you.
I don't know who
Yeah.
wants to go first. QB, go ahead.
Yeah, so QB passport flexing. I'll put the link in the chat to my channel. I just released Mexico City, day life in Mexico City, so you guys can go check out that video. I'm also on Instagram at QB Willie B. Just got back from Guatemala City, and you know.
Wow.
Yes, yeah,
That's really
and
impressive. So just to
mhm.
cut you off, I'm sorry to cut you off, but yes, I have not yet visited your channel. However, I have heard a third person, I can't even remember who, talking about you and saying like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. At least he has the receipts. You have all the photos and videos of you, you know, meeting up with these
Yes,
girls, right? I mean,
yes, photos, videos. I have
okay, I'm
screenshots
just
of
not
women that I met online because again, they want to discredit me because I do pay to play as an option as well. So, oh my gosh, every girl in your video, she's a prostitute, and it's like, I've been dating a girl in Mexico consistently for almost 3 years. I do pay to play in between time, you know. So, yeah, but definitely go check out the channel Horror Maxer.
Oh, I do. I know
And
your channel.
I mean, not yeah, Mgtow Cowboy. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead and check it
right.
out.
No, I will. No, I will. And again, like I've heard
Mhm.
yes, as the phrase goes, you know, you have the receipts to back it up. I'm just not at that level yet. I think you're,
Right.
for example, my passport has. I need to renew my passport, and I'm just not balling like you, I guess, right now. But yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and so thank you for having me on the stream. Look forward to it, and Yeah, Mgtow. I mean, Hormaxer. I'll definitely shoot you an email, and we can talk
Yeah,
more.
I put it in the chat there.
Yeah, we can talk more
Sure.
about Tijuana and Hormaxin off the air.
Sure, those are my favorite topics.
All right, Hormaxer, can you finish us out? Can you take a second,
Sure.
show your channel, and
Sure.
wrap it all up?
My channel is Hormaxer 2. It's basically what it says. It's on Hormaxing. I'd like to make if I can, I'd like to make the closing statement because I'm familiar, as you know, with Mgtow. A lot of the online philosophies and ideologies is that, being Mgtow doesn't mean you have to boycott women. You have to do that. You have to become depressed and live as a hermit. Okay. I know sometimes you're going to want to feel that way. I would tell these men, but I said, there's no reason why you should lay down and die and hate women. You can use it to your advantage. Like you said, you can go if you need somebody. If you want somebody to take you around, you can do somebody like QB flexing. That's, I guess, is going to be his thing and what he's going to do. And that's fine. I think men need to look at the situations in this country, which I do see, and some do see it, and understand. Listen, you have needs, you have wants. You can become totally miserable. I was on my way there, or you can decide to build yourself up. Get on, especially if you're over the age of 35, get on TRT, start building your body, to run steroid cycles. Sounds a little odd, sounds a little unconventional, but it's the truth here. These are the things that will help you live and help you get your life back somewhat. There's no need to lay down and rot like in incel communities or black pill communities. Even if you Hormax, I said you want to have your body. It's good for yourself. It's good for yourself because that whore is still a woman, and when you take off, if you're in shape, there is a difference. So there's no reason to say the hell with women and complain and bitch and bitch and bitch and say, hey, why don't you say, hey, let me look at my body. What the fuck am I doing? And even if I fail, and believe me, I fail many times. I put it on my channel, okay? I don't hide shit. I said, I fail. I put the gesture maxing crusades, the bad whore maxing experiences, and everything in the kit and caboodle. I said, you take that and you say, okay, here's your situation. Get your ass if you're in the Southwest to Tijuana. If you're closer, go to Colombia, wherever you are. But unless you find a good situation, I would advise get out of this country. The ideology of these women, for the most part, especially over 30, and who knows what's coming up, is contaminated. It is contaminated. It's a severe social brainwashing. And to counteract that is almost impossible as an individual man. And it is in some ways, a gender war in a certain aspect. I view it that way in this country when you pull back and look at it. And I said, how do you counteract that? Well, you can decide, I'm pulling my shit out and going to a different country. I am not going to, even if you can, I'm not going to be taking women out to 5 and 6 dates that I may get an opportunity to have sex with you. Why can't, I don't understand why two people, because of social conditioning and brainwashing, can't just enjoy each other for the time or a short period, or maybe in a potentially long period. But to cut that out is ridiculous. You have needs, you have wants, you fulfill those needs and you want. And if it means it's illegal, then it's illegal. Fuck this system. This system doesn't give a fuck about you. It doesn't give two shits about you. That's why I said I was in a TRT clinic. The TRT clinic was full of women. I said, I am not going to sit here and be dictated by women where my levels are going to be. If I want my level at 2000, okay, and you can tell me about my risk and whatnot, but I'm not going to have it dictated by women in a testosterone clinic of all places. I said, this is a sickness and I need to pull out. That's my thing. Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed talking to Mgtow.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to cut it off there. Again, that was QB Flexing and Hormaxer, or he now goes by Hormaxer 2. This was an interview initially with Mgtow, was it Red Pill? Mgtow in the Wind, who is now Red Pill in the Wind. I meant to go only 2 hours. We're approaching the 2 hour and 40-minute mark, but that's fine. Everyone, it was a pleasure. And I will close by saying I recently had a conversation with a world famous scientist and mathematician who it looks like he's going to be joining me for next week's interview. He also just happens to be a Mgtow, which is great. And he's going to be talking to us about some of his, how can I put it? This man is almost single-handedly building a counter narrative to the women's gender studies academic bullshit. Anyway, I'll go more in detail. I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's going to be a surprise, and it looks like we may be able to collaborate with Hammerhand on this one. I have contacted Hammerhand. If it all lines up, we'll have a panel discussion afterwards. Anyway, I'll leave it there, gentlemen. It was a pleasure. You take care, and this is end transmission. Bye now.
Thank
Okay.
you. Good night.
Cool. All right. I kind of wanted to talk to Horn